Get nasty on a Monday. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh and Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. Jamie will join us from the road at 2:15 and 2:30. He's traveling as the Blues take on the Nashville Predators, so he'll join us via the phone, but mostly it'll just be the three of us today. And we start off with the new way to watch Cardinals baseball. It was announced that MLB.com and MLB TV will provide the Cardinals games for you this upcoming season. The fee, $19.99 a month, or you could pay for the entire season at $99.99. Can't be an even hundo. Can't be an even 20.
Yeah, it's a reason for that.
Well, it looks cheaper, Anthony. It looks
does.
cheaper than
Your
if
mind,
it was $100.
Yeah.
And if you're searching for something less than $100, it'll pop up.
Yeah.
If you go more, it won't.
Right.
I mean,
More people willing, people willing to buy more.
Yeah.
I like this, guys. I like it. I like direct to consumer products. I like when there's that you can, if you just want to see a Cardinals games, you're not buying more than what you're using. This to me makes a lot of sense. I understand why some teams have their own deals. Mm-hmm. The Yes Network, Nesson. You know, I understand why owners want to produce their own content. They can sell their own advertising and all that. But when it comes to just being a Cardinal fan, that doesn't necessarily take in more than your national games from time to time. Mm-hmm. This makes a lot of sense. And I think the price is reasonable. Given all the streaming services and things like that out there, I think it's reasonable. I pay $100 a year for NFL Plus. Mm-hmm. That gives me the Red Zone. That gives me streaming for all the national games, Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night. And that also gives me the full games, condensed games, and all 22. Kind of everything that I would want outside of course, you get the live games and you can pick and choose.
I think I'd pay that just for the all 22. I love watching games like that.
It's not a bad price. So I don't think this is unreasonable. $20 a month or $100 for the entire season of Cardinals baseball. If you want to kind of see how the team does, you can go month to month with it. Or if you figure, hell, I'm going to watch these games anyways, you throw the 100 down and you get to watch your Cardinals. I don't think it's bad.
does that include any other teams, or is that just your St. Louis Cardinals?
That's your St. Louis Cardinals.
So if you're on the MLB app, you don't get any other games?
From what I can read at MLB.com, if I'm interpreting it right, no, you just get the Cardinals.
All right.
We do get a text from the 314. Yeah, and now I have to pay for a monthly, monthly subscription to watch Blues, and is separate for the Cardinals now. That's BS.
Well, I hate to break it to you, if they're involved in something else, a lot of times you get you don't know where some of the games might be. If they're not part of your cable or satellite subscription package, sometimes you don't get it. I think this is direct, and I get it. But if you're a Cardinals and Blues fan, I think you're gonna pay for that.
Yeah, we got people upset.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are upset about this.
What do they say?
Fast lane baseball, don't understand why they can't just let me watch the games. Bye-bye cards. Not that you gave me much to watch the last few years. It says game, but I think he meant gave.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
314 says, I pay $15 a month for Netflix. I can watch it all day. This is $20 for 3 hours a day.
A month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$15 a month for Netflix. You can watch Netflix all day long.
You're saying, yeah.
And with a baseball game, it's about 3 hours, and you're paying $20 a month.
You get 162 of those things. So,
But all right, I understand. But are you watching all of Netflix? Like, are you turning it on? You're just watching. You're watching all of that content, or are you picking and choosing what you want?
But you do with Netflix. You do have the ability to watch everything.
Sure.
Some people don't watch everything, but you have the ability to. We just talked about, well, if you're paying this amount of money strictly for Cardinals games, you don't I guess, get the ability to watch the rest of Major League Baseball.
Okay, how much you watching anyways though?
I don't know. That's
I don't know. I'm just trying to be realistic here. Knowing me, I'm watching the Cardinals. I'm probably if the games, if West Coast games, sometimes I might be doing something else and they'll be on. But other than that, I'm probably just watching the Cardinals.
Mahomes long body says a little pricey for a bleep product.
Well, that's a different conversation.
Yeah,
that's a different conversation.
This is interesting, man. You got some people, like, do you remember back in the day, a long time ago, like 90s, where we had cable?
Yes.
And everything just was on cable.
Yep.
Then people got mad. We're going to cut the cord. I'm just going to pay for what I want. And now, look at your ass. You got, you think you're smarter than the billionaire companies that know that you're going to have to pay for everything that you want now?
Yeah.
You used to pay, I don't know what cable bills were, I don't know, $75, $70 a month.
Yeah. You watch 4 or 5
all of the channels.
Well,
on average.
At the
Then you
time,
complained, said, I just want to pay $12 for one thing.
At the time, though, this was the best option, and now these companies keep raising their prices to the point now where it's like, why did I even do this? So blame the companies for continuing to raise prices in this economy. So that's why people are ticked off, because it's like, well, I want to watch this and I want to watch this.
Yeah.
But now I got to pay for all these different things if you want to watch it. Now, you don't have to watch any of it. You don't have to pay for any of it.
Right.
But if you are a viewer and you have certain shows or you have a certain, team that you want to watch, now you have to go and pay extra money to do all these different things watch all these different products.
I guess I understand why you're pissed off. It's because it used to be a part of your cable or satellite package,
and it still is for some people.
Sure. And maybe it was baked into the price and you didn't care. But I think for a price per program standpoint, how many other things were you watching as part of that cable subscription or that satellite subscription? It was probably less than what you thought.
Which is why they said, I just need to watch these
I just want,
I don't
ESPN
watch all these channels anyways.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, now we get Netflix, and now we have Hulu, and now we have this, and we have that. To Carey's point, everybody thought they were ahead of it, and maybe you were for a time being. I'm going to cut the cable, cut the cord, and I'm just going to stream exactly what I want. Okay. Well, then all these companies start figuring out, all right, well, if you want Ted Lasso, you're going to have to download this and subscribe here. You want this, you want that. It's a la carte, but they're not going to give it to you for free. It's just the world is changing.
Well, for me, one thing that I'm excited about, I guess, and maybe the people that are upset about this, they don't want to hear this, but this is from the article that was posted. In recent seasons, MLB-produced local games have incorporated national-level innovations, including live drones, wire cam, right field cameras with a shallow depth of field cinematic look, and 2 umpire cam formats, the mask-mounted camera behind home plate and the chest-mounted camera in the field. These broadcasts have also delivered unprecedented player access, introducing multiple first-of-their-kind moments for MLB local coverage. So someone who likes the visuals of a baseball game, this excites me, and maybe it excites other people too.
Sure.
That's just my 2 cents.
I also wonder if people are upset because the Cardinals aren't good right now.
Oh, yeah, if they were good, who cares?
Yeah. I'm not overlooking the fact that, again, at one point, you were able to watch these games, Cardinals and Blues, you're not paying extra for either. You're not paying individually for either.
Yeah.
And it's all baked into your satellite or cable. I get it. But if we're being honest, how many of you are just ticked off because your Cardinals aren't great right now?
Well, that's the basis for all of it. Okay. If you were winning, cool. You'd be excited. If you were winning, hell, you'd just go to the game.
That's true, too.
It's not that easy now.
Yeah.
Not that fun.
All right.
You guys like baseball?
I think it's reasonable. Do we like baseball? I like the sport, yes.
No, you don't.
I love the sport.
You do not.
I love the sport.
Your love for baseball, I don't
love
know
the
where
sport.
it went.
MLB
You don't love...
can suck
okay.
a
There you go. Egg.
helmet.
An egg.
helmet.
An
That's kind of
egg.
big.
That is kind of maybe the mini helmets he's talking about.
Oh, the one with
those are
the
choking hazards.
No, big
the
old
one
helmet.
with the ice cream helmet.
Oh yeah, that's a little. That might be too big too. The mini helmets.
Yeah, no, the little scoop of ice cream.
No, they're even smaller than that.
Yeah, he's talking about one that you used to get out of the quarter machines.
Yeah. One of those. That's
I used to collect. I used to like collecting those. You remember the football ones?
The football helmets.
Yeah, so you quarter, 50 cents or whatever. You put it in the cat world. Anyways, used to go to the grocery store, Marsh.
What happened? What just happened?
I just realized how old I am.
He just had a flash in front of his face to how old he was.
I used to do that too. I used to get stickers, right? Team stickers. I'd go to whatever grocery store, and they'd had the stickers of different teams, and I'd
sometimes you push the thing in, and it give you the sticker. Yeah, well, they used to have the little mini football helmets that you can construct.
Okay, yeah. No, I didn't.
So they come with a little white face mask that you put on, and they gave you the stickers.
Yeah.
So it was like a Falcon helmet to be black helmet, or Vikings be purple helmet, and they had the stickers, and you had to put them on carefully.
Perfectly.
Yeah. If you messed it up, you're pissed.
Yeah.
This Vikings logo is crooked.
We are old.
Yeah. I don't know.
Stinks.
Part of my childhood. All right, Jamie's going to join us next. Blues let a potential win slip away against the Blue Jackets. We'll kind of dive into that and some other big happenings right now with the Blues next on 101 ESPN. One of the biggest reasons to head down to Herculaneum and see my good friends at Auto Centers is the selection that they have. Yeah, they have great deals on vehicles, new Nissans, and pre-owned vehicles, but one of the main reasons is to go with Auto Centers is because of the selection. They've got over 1,000 new and used vehicles all in one location. So when you go to AutoCentersNissan.com and you're looking at the different vehicles, different price points, and you decide that you want to test drive some of those vehicles, those same cars and trucks and vans, whatever you're looking at, they're going to be there at the dealership. I don't know if you've ever run into this before. I know I have, certainly many years ago when we were car shopping. You go to the dealership and they're like, well, we've got something similar to what you saw online, but that vehicle actually is at another location. We can get that for you, so-and-so. Auto Centers makes it convenient. So when you walk onto their lot and you tell them, look, this is the exact vehicle or two or three that I'm looking at. I'd like to test drive these exact cars. They've got them for you. So when you do head out to Herculaneum, tell them that Anthony Stalter sent you. Love hearing that. Check them out online at AutoCentersNissan.com. They always have great deals, and they always give you that 30-day return promise on all new Nissans, which means within 30 days, if you're not completely satisfied with the vehicle, you can bring it back, full refund. That's part of the shopping experience at Auto Centers Nissan. So go visit them, Auto Centers Nissan, Herculaneum.
I think in the first two periods we wanted it to come easy. We were not skating, working, hitting like we have in the last handful of games. And then in the third we did. We pushed and it ended up being too little too late.
That was Blues head coach Jim Montgomery following the game against the Blue Jackets. And that was kind of the theme following the game. I know Braden Shen had talked about, too, how you can't just think that you're going to pull out games every time in the third period. You have to kind of set the tone, and that's what we're going to kind of lead off this segment with Jamie, who joins us right now via the Callier and Thompson phone line. Jamie Rivers live from Nashville. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Jamie, do you feel as though that was kind of the overall theme with that Blues and Blue Jackets game? You can't come back every third period. You got to play with more desperation and urgency early on.
Well, you're very formal today, Anthony.
Yeah.
No hi, how you doing? Nothing like that. You get right into it.
Gotta hit the hole.
My gosh.
Hit the hole hard, Jamie.
Wow. Do you ever? Wow. Okay. Well,
You're
gonna be an
welcome.
official interview. Okay, Here we go. So, yeah, the other night, Anthony, if that's your name, and it was just, look it, man. This is where we're at. The Blues are in this position because they can't be consistent on a nightly basis. And not just nightly basis, now they're, the consistency level throughout one game in particular isn't there. I mean, there's reasons that the Blues are in the spot that they're in currently. And, right now, Jim Montgomery, Doug Armstrong, Alex Dean, the leadership group, the players, everybody's trying to figure out how to drag themselves out of this. How do you start pointing the ship in the right direction? And, you saw better, more competitive hockey for an extended period of time, and then you saw it go away for the first two periods of that Columbus game, but then you saw it come roaring back in the third period to where it didn't even look like Columbus was in the game, but Blues still put themselves in the hole and couldn't find that tying goal. So it just goes to show you that if you don't bring your best game all the time, you're not going to win.
Jamie, how do you find, I mean, you had a huge win, in my opinion, against the Panthers, which was a really good game. You came out and you played really well, and then you turn around and you lose to the Columbus Blue Jackets. How do you find that consistency when you know it's there? They've played really well for a stretch of games, even though they weren't winning all of them, but it's just not being able to do it night in and night out. How do you muster up the strength to get that done when you clearly haven't done it yet?
Yeah, it's a gut check for every player. I mean, it's not like they can't do it because we've seen it in spurts at different times throughout this season. And so there's two ways of going about it. When you have a team that shows you clearly that they can't compete, then you're like, okay, we've got to really redo the roster. We've got to tear it down to the studs. We've got to find some players. But when you have a team that does it sporadically, that's the stuff that makes you bang your head off a wall because you're like, why can we not do it more regularly? And I don't know what the answer is, Carey. For each and every one of those players, it's something different. Whether somebody needs a kick in the pants to get motivated or somebody needs a hug to play better or somebody needs to be more offensive, more defensive, more physical. Each and every guy, the recipe's different. And that's the hard part as a coaching staff or as an organization is trying to figure out, well, one, what makes every guy tick? And two, is it too much work to make player X, Y, or Z tick? And if it is too much work to do that, to get the best out of this player on a nightly basis, then you got to move on from said player. And we know from looking at the way certain contracts are structured, it's not always easy to move on. So it can be a real frustrating process. And I think that's what the team is going through right now, and I think that's what the fan base is going through.
Jamie Rivers joining us right now from Nashville. It's a Fastlane on 101 at ESPN. Jamie, I'm completely with you. Carey kind of asked a similar question, but even if you look at how the goals went in on Saturday, deflections off sticks and bodies, shots through traffic, broken coverage in the slot, Columbus repeatedly winning inside positioning, it doesn't scream system failure. It points to a team that kind of loses its composure, maybe takes some opportunities to push for granted. And I mean, then when you throw in the injuries, you have inconsistency. So I think you're right. This is the fans are frustrated because it doesn't seem like there's much direction, and I don't know if you're whether you're Monty or your Army, what the vision should be moving forward.
Yeah, I think the vision is to find players that are willing to do whatever it takes to win a hockey game. Honestly, you give me a group of guys, especially in the sport of hockey, you give me a large group of guys that, for lack of better words, would rather die than lose a hockey game. And you're going to win more often than not. That's just the bottom line. Now, you also like to find some really talented players that have the same attitude as those other guys. Right now, it's just weird. Like you talked about the other night, like another goal scored by a guy standing all by himself in front of the net, deflecting the puck in front of Jordan Binnington. Like, I just, sometimes I look and I get frustrated too because, as a player like I was, you had to pay attention to the details. If that was me on the ice and that happened consistently, I'm going to be watching games from the press box, or I'm going to be on a bus down to the minors or waived or traded or something because you're in the NHL. It's your job to know what your role is. It's your job to identify the details that are necessary to be successful. Now, there's mistakes in every game, and that's why teams win and that's why teams lose. But when it's consistently the same recipe of things that is happening, the players are either incapable of doing it or unwilling to do it.
I was going to call you Jeremy. Jamie, if you are JR letters, the initials throw me off sometimes. It's different when you're not sitting here.
And he will join us at 3:30.
There you go.
Carey's prepared.
Sorry, Jamie. I'm looking at Jordan Binnington's record over the last 2 months. Since the calendar turned to 2026, the Blues in those games that he started, they are 2-12. And you talked about guys in front of the net and all of these things. Can you just express kind of, if you're in Jordan Binnington's shoes, how the level of frustration that you may have sitting at this point right now with the way the team is playing in front of you and just not being able to find ways to help your team win games?
Yeah, I think the frustration is probably twofold in that situation, Carey. One, it's, still the guys that are scoring goals that are not covered, whether it's in front of the net or backdoor or just unattended to in front of the net, or whether it's Jordan Binnington and you're not making the timely saves that you need to make. The combination is not good. You look at the other night, and because that's the most recent one for us to reference, the one deflection goal in front of the net, nobody takes the guy. Right? That would be frustrating because your player should be there to block or box that guy out of there. But then the game-winning goal is just a slap shot from the blue line that beats Jordan Binnington to the blocker side. I'm not sure if he was screened or not. I know Broberg kind of skated across a little bit, but no deflection, no Columbus Blue Jacket really in front of the net. So you have two different scenarios to where you're frustrated at your players, but then you kind of have to be frustrated with yourself too for letting a goal like that go in, and unfortunately it ends up being the game winner. So I don't think there's any lack of frustration that is going around that locker room right now. And Jim Montgomery and the staff, they're doing a hell of a job to try and keep the energy levels high, keep the positivity flowing. They're continuing to teach on a daily basis, lots of video, lots of little meetings, things like that. And right now, this is the perfect timing for the dad's trip. It really is. It's been a long year for these guys. It's been up and down. And the dads being on the road, I don't know what it is about the dads being in the building, but guys always play harder. They play better. It's almost like they feel like they won't get dessert when they go home or they won't get an ice cream. It's that childhood stuff, and the dads are bringing a different energy into the building today. They were down by the locker room talking to the players. And so I would expect a good effort tonight, and I would hope there would be one.
Jamie, we got you for another segment, so hang tight, and then we'll dive into more with you, and also we'll play Light the Lamp. Sound good?
Yes, sir.
All right, more with Jamie Rivers next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
It is the last call for football. FanDuel is giving you a daily profit boost every single day leading up to the big game. Today's 30% profit boost is on passing yards, over or under, and alternate passing yards. And maybe you're looking at Drake May going against that vaunted Seattle Seahawks defense. Maybe you want to take him under 220 and a half yards passing. Maybe you like Sam Darnold to go over 228 and a half yards passing, considering that he's been playing extremely well, and Jackson Smith and Jigba is still one of the best receivers in football. All you have to do is opt in each day and place an eligible bet to use that day's profit boost. So whether you're locking in early lines, riding your favorite props, or taking a swing before the final whistle, FanDuel is giving everyone something extra to cheer for during football's final week. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60. 21 plus and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. We will continue our conversation about your St. Louis Blues next with Jamie, as he is in Nashville right now. And the Blues take on the Predators tonight, looking to rebound after a 5-3 loss against the Blue Jackets over the weekend. You can listen to that game right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Our guy Jamie Rivers on the line, Callier and Thompson phone line, that is, via Nashville or in Nashville. So, Jamie, I hesitate to ask this because when it comes to the injuries and the mounting injuries, it's only one part of the struggles for the Blues. It's not an excuse at all. But with Robert Thomas now hurt, what really can be evaluated with this current Blues team if you're the front office or you're Monty?
Well, I think you're going back to, can they compete on a daily basis? And we've talked about this before. It takes little to no talent to compete. And I think that that's the one thing that this team, unfortunately, has shown this year, is that they're inconsistent with their competitive edge. And, you know, if you're Monty or the front office and you're evaluating right now what kind of direction you'd like the team to go in and whatnot, you don't have Robert Thomas. You have a list of guys, by the way, that are playing through injuries right now. They're not; those things aren't written up in the articles. They're not talked about openly because, they don't disclose those things. The players don't talk about it, and they just play through it. But there are a number of players right now that desperately need this break, and we'll see what happens following the break. But this is why they got a surge last year, as they had a few guys that were nursing some injuries, went into the Four Nations break, came out, and everybody looked like they were 100%, and they played way above and beyond what we thought they could play, the level that they play at anyways. So if you're looking to evaluate, I think you just kind of evaluate the competitive nature of this team from now until after the Olympic break, because I just personally don't think Army's going to make a trade before the Olympic break. You can't at this point. There's a roster freeze that's been put on. So coming out of the Olympics, you're going to probably want to take a look at the first couple of games, see what your team looks like. And then the trade deadline's right around the corner. And, Army and staff will have a job to do. They'll have to figure out what direction this team is going in for the remainder of the season and what they want this team to ultimately look like from an off-season standpoint moving into next year.
Jamie, that was going to be my question in terms of, the trade deadline. They return February 26th, and then the trade deadline is March 6th. So you got about a week or so there before the actual trade deadline. Is it just a foregone conclusion that this team will be vastly different from when they come back from the Olympic break to trade deadline?
I don't know if anything's ever a foregone conclusion, but I will say I would be shocked if there weren't some moves that are made at the deadline. And whether that is, some of the more veteran players, I hate trading guys, but the people that everybody are talking about are players like Justin Falk, Jordan Bennington. What about Braden Shen? Those are the three names that you look at and you go, okay, these are veteran players with contracts that are close to being expired soon. Let's move on from this. Now, you kind of sit there and expect some of those deals, but I don't know if Army has something else cooking. Like, does he have a blockbuster in him? Is he going to shock people? Is he going to move on from a young asset that he has right now to try and bring in more assets? Like, all of this stuff right now is being talked about. And it's a tough situation for Army and Steiner, because you really thought you had a different team coming into this season, and now it's almost like you're a year behind again, and now you're trying to figure out what the hell you got and what kind of team you're going to be moving forward.
Yeah, Jamie, if the Blues do decide to, you mentioned Justin Falk, and what I've been seeing is, the Blues are looking for something of substance, right? Like they're not going to just take a deal just to get this guy off the team. You know, where does Justin Falk sort of like rank in terms of the defensemen available? I would have to assume he's at the top, or at least towards the top.
Yeah, so Justin Falk obviously having a good year, and if you're the Blues, it couldn't time out better for you in this situation. You would love to have him producing the way he is and playing the way he is, and having a playoff team to be on would be great here in St. Louis. But based on the fact that it doesn't look like that's going to happen, this is the perfect situation. You have Justin Falk where his stock is high. The Rasmus Anderson deal got made from Calgary to Vegas. And I thought Calgary got a pretty good haul for Rasmus Anderson. I think the Blues can get the same kind of trade package from someone out there looking to acquire a top 4 right-handed shot defenseman who plays a power play, who's scoring a lot of goals this year. I think the Blues could do well with that. It's just going to depend on, what young assets Army wants back. Does he want current NHL drafted young players, where they're in the American League or in junior hockey? Does he want draft picks? Does he want a young roster player? It'll depend certainly on whatever the package is the other team offers. And let's remember that Justin Falk still has a 15-team no-trade clause, so he can still veto anything that would fall into one of those teams he doesn't want to go to.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you that. Like, what camp do you fall in that would be, in your opinion, the most beneficial for the Blues? Is it the draft pick sort of route, or is it getting players, young players back that, are not draft picks? We know what these players are, who they are.
Yeah. It all depends, Marshy. If you look at some teams that have a stockpile of really good young talent, then you want some guys that you think can be ready to play next year or the year after for your club. But you also take a look at some of the draft, as far as the draft order is concerned right now for this year. And you have to look at that too. Like, team trading you a first rounder, is it a top 10 pick? Is it a top 20 pick? Or is it a bottom 10 pick? That also makes a difference. And for me, that is something I'm not interested in this year. After the top 5, top 6, top 7, there's a pretty substantial drop-off. So you're really not getting a player that I think is moving the needle. So if I'm the Blues, I don't think I'm dipping my toes in that water.
All right, Jamie, you ready to play Light the Lamp?
Let's go, baby.
Let's do it.
But a couple of guys can really shoot the puck.
Shooter! I must confess you scored first.
Well, who was the first person?
Breakaway! Shoots! Score! We got hockey to learn.
Marsh, what do we got for standings?
Yeah, Jamie's still in the lead. Obviously, he took the lead last week, so he will get honors. Carey will go second, then me, then you, Anthony.
All right.
All right. Give me that Jimmy Snuggerud. Yeah.
Interesting choice there. I will take Dalibor Dvorsky, please.
All right, I will take Steven Stamkos. Anthony, you want Philip Forsberg?
Yes, that'd be great.
I don't think
we all good?
No.
Sounds good.
Enjoy. What?
You gotta. Those guys don't play for the St. Louis Blues. You gotta pick a blue.
I thought.
No, that's not how the game works.
The other lineup.
No. That's for a hit when we play the baseball.
Well, why can't we do it now?
Well, you all made the rules. I just abide by them.
Well, Jamie changes the rules. Jamie, you were telling me the other day that you wanted to change the rules.
Yeah, not this one, though. Not this rule.
Not this one, okay.
No,
Okay. Why don't you give me Bukestad. Let's go with him tonight.
Ooh, spicy.
Good one, Marsh. Chose him the other night.
How'd that work out?
Not well.
Oh,
give me Jordan Kyrou.
There you go. Back to Old Faithful.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Hadn't done you wrong.
No. Out of all of them, no.
Jamie, real quick here, what did you think of the Stadium Series game last night between the Bruins and the Tampa Bay Lightning? Did you get a chance to watch that?
Oh, yeah. It was. I thought it was one of the most entertaining outdoor games that maybe I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Back and forth. I thought the game was over, and then Tampa comes, charging back, and then we got a goalie fight. If you wanted a unique event last night, you got it. And the NHL is probably pretty damn happy about what went on because the ratings were through the roof.
You know, I watched that goalie fight go down, and the one thing that stood out to me was, you know, everybody's excited about a goalie fight, and why wouldn't you be? But then it got me thinking, man, if Jordan Bennington were to do that, he would be crushed online. Like, it's amazing how people perceive things and, you know, in different goaltenders, a fiery goaltender. I thought that was ironic.
Yeah, people are fools sometimes, Marshy. You know, you just got to learn that life. Just keep moving.
That's why I have you guys to teach me.
Wallow in their own misery. You know, they will.
Yeah, very true. All right, Jamie. We'll talk to you tomorrow, pal.
While I got you guys on, and so we can have this on record, for Bet the Board today, give me Dallas minus 148 on the money line.
You're breaking up. We'll pick for you.
You're a funny guy, Anthony.
Jamie, congratulations on winning yet another Bet the Board. We don't actually know if you won. I can't remember who I wrote down all my picks in that parlay.
I don't know either.
Cannot find that sheet. So
I have no idea.
Just assume
when
that you didn't win.
She will get an official ruling.
Yeah, I'm sure I did not pull off a 6 or 7 leg parlay, whatever it was. All right, we'll talk to you again tomorrow, man.
All right, guys. See you later.
That's our good buddy, Jamie Rivers, here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. We have what's trending for you next.
topics in the sports world.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
Here's what's trending.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, SLU just keeps on rolling. A 102-71 victory over Dayton over the weekend. 21 wins for the SLU Billikens, only one loss. Josh Schertz was, and this audio is courtesy of Cam Movie, but he was talking. And just take a listen. I got a question for you guys surrounding this audio piece.
When you take a job, at least to me, the ultimate to me is sustained success. Like, can you do it over a long period of time? Like, that's what makes Dayton and VCU the standards, right? Because they've done it year over year. There's a tradition in history that stretches back. They've got incredible support. They got crowd support, all that stuff. But that's what I envisioned for St. Louis was trying to create a sustainable program where, you're not going to be 21-1 every year. That's not possible. But can we every year be in the mix?
So, there's rumblings online. Oh, Josh Schertz, because of how well this team is doing, well, maybe some other team will come in and snatch him up and he'll go to a bigger program. But when you hear that audio piece, does that sound to you like a guy who wants to continue being here and building this program into being that much better?
It sounds like a guy who is where his feet are.
100%.
It does not sound like he's somebody that's got one foot out the door. I have no idea what coach's aspirations are. I would imagine that he would, want to continue to maybe run a bigger program, but who knows? But that sounds like a man that is concentrating on the task at hand, and it sounds like somebody that wants to build culture wherever he's at. And fortunately for us, he's at SLU, and the Billikens are. I mean, I watched a good portion of that Dayton game on Friday night. They hit from three. I mean, it's all the stuff I continue to say, but it's all true. I mean, they can't miss from three. They rebound well. They defend well. As you know, Carey, defense is about effort. It's about intensity.
Yep.
It's about want to. Avila is great, but I think he's completely fine if somebody else takes over. They're building a culture. They have the same point in the right direction.
They are building and pointing in the right direction. And I think, as a coach, you're supposed to say that. I don't think. Do I think he'll be here? I think he's here until he's not. Right, and that's not a knock against him. I like you said, Anthony. I think all coaches, all players, everyone wants to ascend in their profession, whatever that is, whatever that looks like. Would it be cool if he stayed at SLU for the remainder of his career and they put themselves in a position to always have success? For sure. Is it likely to happen? I don't know. I just think right now where he is and how well his team is playing, best believe there are going to be some people that come calling after the season is over, and SLU's going to have to make a decision because, if the money is not the same and you're having an opportunity to go make more money and put yourself and your family in a better situation, you can never knock anybody for doing that. So, I say enjoy it while it's here, while it's happening. Focus on the now, kind of like what I said with the team. You can't play in the NCAA tournament today. Mm-hmm. You can't worry about where your coach is going to be in, 6 months. You got to be locked into where you are right now and what you're doing and play the best basketball that you can. Yeah. And hopefully it leads to an opportunity to win a national championship.
Definitely.
Yep.
Well, speaking of a team that has national championship aspirations.
Oh, your boys. It was a nice win last night.
There's a reason why Carey's wearing his Illinois hoodie today. That's a big win against win against the Cornhuskers.
I will tell you this, man. I've been watching Illinois basketball for a long time, Anthony. I mean, a long time. Since the 90s. Like, I did. I was basketball, Illinois versus Mizzou. That was my first introduction. Kejuan Garris. Like, I was like, man, this guy can ball. Like, I was really enthused watching Illinois play this weekend. I think that Keaton Wagler is a first-round draft pick. He's going to be a guy that makes some – he's only a freshman, and he's playing his butt off. I think Stojakovic, I would like him to be the best player, the second best player on the court, which I know he has the capability of doing because I've seen it. They got a three-point shooter and Jake Davis, like the twins, Ivicevic twins. Like, they got guys, and their best point guard, best ball handler has been out in Boswell. So for me, this is the best version of Illinois basketball I've seen in 20-plus years. And that says a lot, because they had some really good teams with Ayo and Kofi, and they've had a lot of talent. Even last year's team, like, they've had a lot of guys that could play basketball, man. But this group, collectively, they have interior defense, they have, perimeter defense, they have guys that get on the floor and play hard, and when your best player is the one diving on the floor for loose balls, says a lot about your team. He knocks down shots, and Wagler, like, they got everything you want. And I don't want to get it too. I don't like to ride a roller coaster, but I am sitting down in the roller coaster seat, and we're gonna go for a ride here shortly. I don't like roller coasters at all, man. But damn it, watching this team, it gives me something.
He's got the bar in front of him.
It's in front of me. I'm like,
Carey only likes riding roller coasters for teams that he enjoys.
Yeah,
maybe. Well, teams that I enjoy, you don't have to ride the roller coaster. That's usually how that works.
It's gonna be a good ride.
Yeah, safe. Get you back to your destination, safely, safe and sound. Same way you came, same way you got there.
What type of roller coaster is Illinois?
Probably like the mine train.
Okay, that's
safe.
Yeah.
Safe bet.
But a little scary when you go down.
When you get in that dark, it get a little scary.
I know.
Get a little scary, but all in all, not a deep drop. You're just on there. It's not like the Screaming Eagle where it could jump off the tracks. No. We don't want that.
Or the Ninja.
The Ninja.
You go down the Ninja, there's that bar that's
it looks like
going
it's going to
across
decapitate you.
Every time.
Thank you.
I felt that way when we took the kids a couple of years ago now, but when we went to, is it Disney World in Orlando?
Yep.
Yeah, Disneyland is in
California. So we took
Disneyland and California Adventure.
So we took them to Disney World, and I think it's at Epcot. They got like one of the old ones. It's all in the dark. And they got stuff like flying by. Yeah. I thought I was going to get decapitated 9 times. I'm like, this is going to be it. And nobody's going to know because it's in the dark. It's just going to pull back up, and it's just going to be my body, my headless body.
And the next thing you know, you're like, whoa, everything that just happened didn't actually happen. It was like a premonition.
Sure.
Next thing you know, you're in a movie. Never went around just... They're dying.
Right. Documentary.
You
got to see it.
I refuse to watch those documentaries just because they give me, you're driving behind a truck with logs.
Yeah.
I'm not about it. I'm just going to get over real quick.
Yep.
I've seen this happen.
I trust that you did your job, but you just never know. When them steel beams comes off them things?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not fun.
Yeah.
Be safe. Magic Kingdom? Was that the ride? Space Mountain.
I was about to say space. Yeah, I thought it was something space. It was space. It was Space Mountain. Yep.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
I don't like roller coasters, Anthony. They're not safe.
Oh, you would have hated this roller coaster that I went to at Six Flags. Magic Mountain in California?
Wouldn't get over
it. Where you sit down and then all of a sudden you just and you're like in Superman mode.
Nope.
And I was like, whoa! I did not know that was happening when I got in this line 2 hours ago.
Yeah. 2 hours for 15 seconds.
Yeah.
No. This was like a 3-minute roller coaster ride.
Well, that's really ridiculous.
It was worth the 2 hours. You get there and now you're in line and you're like, you know what? I've been in this line for 2 hours. What's another 10 minutes? Let's go to the front.
Wow.
We'll go in the very front. And the next thing you know, I'm in line and I'm right there. I'm like, yeah, we're right here. And then all of a sudden I see Superman mode. I go, oh my gosh.
This is going to be problematic. We took the kids to Six Flags at the end of last summer, so like it wasn't that packed. And the boss, the one that goes real fast, we went on this thing. We took turns. Like Chris and I took turns. She went on at first. I stayed with the kids because it was a little too dangerous for them. And then I went, and I swear, the guy that was running that thing's like, we probably need 2 or 3 more people on this, but you know what, to hell with it. Let's just go. Dude, there was one. We went up a little bit. I go, this is it.
See? I'm good,
Went up a little bit, back down on the track. No. I'm like, I don't think that was supposed to happen.
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah. All right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Guys, I got kind of a feeling that this Super Bowl is going to be a bit of a letdown.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and ruin the game for you with some thoughts. Next on 101 ESPN. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Andrew Marsh and Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. Jamie out this week. He's traveling with the Blues. We'll be on tonight. Blues Predators pregame at 6 right here on 101 ESPN. Puck drop at 7 o'clock on the Blues Radio Network. I was thinking about this, guys, and I don't want to disappoint anybody that might have high hopes for this game, although I don't know, maybe given the matchup, I think people will be excited once the game is here, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of buildup going into Super Bowl week. But I wonder, guys, if this is going to be a situation where we are ultimately let down by an under-the-radar mismatch. The Patriots, offensively, not defensively, but offensively, they're a team that has been led by a MVP caliber, Drake May, top 5 offense by EPA and success rate, so they're kind of an analytical darling. They're kind of like the explosive play, yada, yada, yada. Never blown out, never embarrassed. But if you look at the 3 playoff games, I know they just played half a game in a blizzard. I know they face some good defenses, but you're going to face good defenses typically in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. 3 straight playoff games with bottom-tier offensive metrics. Drake May has made big plays, but has not played well. Protection issues, in my opinion, are getting worse, not better. And I think the offense is kind of functioning at below a league average outside of some of those bigger plays. And that was due in large part to Houston and C.J. Stroud completely crapping the bed. So if you take those 3 postseason games and you look at the regular season as a whole, Jamie, I worry that this could be a bit of a mismatch, given Seattle defensively is outstanding, given the fact that Sam Darnold just played his best game. I wonder if this might be a blowout. That's kind of where my head's at right now.
For Seattle blowing the doors off of
Seattle blowout.
So, yeah.
What's more likely, a Patriots upset or a Seattle blowout?
A Seattle blowout.
That's right.
I think that Seattle, and I said this, when we got the matchup, I think that Monday, Seattle has the better offense. They have the better defense. They have the more dynamic players on both sides of the ball. Like, you got the best receiver in the game is Jackson Smith-Njigba.
Yep.
The best defense is going to be Seattle's defense, and the best running game.
Seattle.
It is Seattle.
It's Kenneth Walker.
It is Kenneth Walker, unless you want to give Trevion Henderson the football, which for whatever reason they don't.
They don't like him.
I don't know why. It's ridiculous to me.
Drafted him. Had a couple of big moments throughout the year.
Some really big moments.
Don't
really
like
big
him.
plays. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I think that what the Patriots have done is nothing short of amazing, right? You were a 4th place team last year. You win the division this year. You are, the 2nd seed in the NFL playoffs. You go on the road to Denver, even though they were playing a backup quarterback and it turned into a blizzard. Your head coach said, "To hell with it. We're gonna win this game by however we have to," and they did.
No fault there.
C.J. Stroud essentially, I don't know what he was doing offensively. It wasn't good. It was really bad. And you were able to skate out of that game with a victory as well. And you talked about the Chargers game where, they are just down too many men to actually even compete.
Right.
So I think the New England Patriots had a really good year, a really good favorable schedule, both in the regular season and in the playoffs. And I think that this is where they run into a buzzsaw. I do agree with you. Is that not entertaining, though? Like, is it not fun to watch the hell be kicked out of a team? From start to finish, like that's like poetry, man. Like when the offense and defense is clicking, like I remember the 49ers beating the hell out of the Chargers in '94. Like that was rough. From start to finish. I'm like, oh my, this is pretty damn amazing. Now, if you're a Chargers fan, not so much.
No.
If you're a Patriots fan, not so much. I was gonna say something else, but it is what it is.
I don't think for the
You like the Patriots and their fans? You think they're good people?
Oh, I think some of them are good people, sure.
As a whole.
Jamie.
They're Boston fans. We don't.
Do I find them a little insufferable? Yes.
There you go. So if they got the hell kicked out of them, you'd feel bad for them?
Oh, no. God, no.
I mean, they got 6 Super Bowls. They'll be all right.
Yeah, no.
They got like 18 championships in basketball. I'm sure they'll be fine.
I told
Boston
you.
Bruins are like, hey, come on, man, how much more winning do they need to do? And they got that accent thing going on.
Right. Yeah, they're fine.
Yeah, they're good.
Well, I think the difference here is that this is not Tom Brady, Bill Belichick's Patriots. So they're not sort of the evil team, right, heading into it. This team is the underdog, and it just feels different for this Patriots team. As a viewer that goes into this game with my favorite team not playing, I want the game to be entertaining. I don't think a blowout is entertaining. Did you find the Seahawks and Broncos game all those years ago to be entertaining? No, that game stunk. It was a bad game.
Yeah.
The Broncos couldn't score until, I believe, the third quarter. They started the game off with a safety.
Literally.
Like, it just wasn't a fun Super Bowl. Last year, was it fun for people to watch Kansas City get blown out? I'm sure it was, because Kansas City is this
That was a really good game for me.
It was an evil team, right? They just keep winning. I think people found that to be amusing. But at the end of the day, was the game entertaining? Not really. This is from Evan Abrams. He's a media and research guy for Action Network. He posted on X a little bit ago, about a week or so ago, that the Seahawks, they're currently 4.5-point favorites versus the Patriots in Super Bowl 60. Dating back to Super Bowl 30 years ago, we've had 16 Super Bowls close with a spread of 4.5 or more. The underdog is 12-2-2 against the spread in those games. They've covered 7 in a row. So if we look at that, perhaps the Super Bowl is closer than what we are projecting it out to be. Not that, you can go year by year and say, well, because this happened in this Super Bowl. Obviously, things are different, but these are the trends.
Sure. Look, Marsh, you're right. It's not entertaining to watch a blowout. I do think it's interesting, though, when, like last year, obviously I was rooting for the Chiefs, to see that game unfold the way it did. It was like a car wreck. You couldn't not watch. Plus, it's the Chiefs. You always had it in the back of your head.
Like, maybe they could come back.
Maybe they could come back.
Right.
I mean, it was pretty much over in the first half, but even late in the third quarter, I remember thinking, like, well, if they could just mount a drive. No, it's over. Mm-hmm. That Broncos team was historic offensively. Mm-hmm. So even that, you're like, maybe. So I guess it depends. I don't think there would be anything entertaining about this one if it's a blowout.
No.
Watching Peyton Manning and playing for a historic offense get blown out, thinking, it might happen, or Mahomes, that's different. This...
Why? Because you feel like it's going to happen?
Well, I feel like it's going to happen. That's where I'm leaning, at least. But I also wonder if the Patriots are a team that can mount a comeback.
I don't think so.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, not against that defense. Like, not what they've shown. And again, no disrespect to what the Patriots have done this season and during the playoffs. You did what you needed to do to win. Mm-hmm. But you weren't overly exciting in the Texans game. If C.J. Stroud doesn't turn the ball over 15 times, you don't win that game. Like, he turned it over 5 times, I believe. If he turns it over twice, you probably lose that game. Yep. He gave you multiple opportunities, and Drake May fumbled right at the inside the 5, which could have really shifted the entire game had the Patriots not recovered it. With all that being said, I don't think that the Patriots have enough to withstand what Seattle has in front of them. That's just my personal opinion, and I do think it's going to get rough for the Patriots. If they're struggling if they get to a situation where the Patriots, the Seahawks score, let's say they get the ball back at halftime, they score right before half, and you get that double dip situation. Now you're looking like a 21-3. It's probably going to be a wrap.
I think we know what the Patriots are. So there's no this team really surprised me. I think we have an idea of what they are. I still think that Sam Darnold is a wild card. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know we're kind of at that point where okay.
Marshy's got his.
No, I'm just
Marshy.
Okay, all right, never mind.
We'll get to Sam Darnold later.
It's fine.
You know what I mean?
No, it's fine.
He's hoping. You know what Marshy's hoping for? He's hoping for the Sam Darnold that showed up against the Rams in 2024.
Well, let the man speak. What are you hoping for, Marsh?
That's what he's hoping for.
I'm not hoping for anything. I'm just saying that he is the wild card. I know that he is checked those boxes off in this playoff run. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure there are people out there that still are wondering, okay, will that version of Sam Darnold show up?
So
I think
if
that's the wild
he
card.
shows up and plays well, do we get rid of that Sam Darnold being a wild card?
Yeah, I think you can. He's a Super Bowl champion for sure.
Okay.
But I mean, am I out of the box for thinking that?
No.
For thinking that?
I thought that going into the NFC Championship game, mm-hmm. and once I saw how well he played against a team that he struggled with mightily, in the last 2 years, to me, that kind of silenced those questions. Like, if you can play that team that you could not, that you struggled against, I mean, they had your number. They knew exactly how to get to you, how to disrupt you, make it uncomfortable. I saw him fumble a snap and not really waver in anything that he was doing. Like, I thought that at that moment maybe we get to see the old Sam Darnold, but to me the way he played against the Rams was very impressive, and it showed a lot about his mental fortitude and his character and his ability to push past all of the naysayers. And I think this Super Bowl is just going to be more of that.
Yeah, I do too. I feel like this is trending that way in Sam Darnold's revival as opposed to Drake May's arrival. I didn't plan on saying it that way, but I thought it was poetic.
That was well done.
Thank you, guys.
Good job.
Just kidding. I wrote it down weeks ago. I couldn't wait to. Yeah. I thought, if the Patriots and Seahawks, if that's it, I'm going to go with that.
You know, you had that on
You want to say it one more
hand.
Time? I think it's going to be more of Sam Darnold's revival, more so than Drake May's arrival. Yeah.
So you had that. You had that in your notes, but you somehow lost your bet the board.
Yeah, that's correct.
Gotcha. Okay, we see where your priorities are.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. How many suitors are left for Brendan Donovan? Well, one may have left over the weekend because of a signing. We'll tell you what signing occurred, who it was, and why Brendan Donovan might just be here with the Cardinals for the next season. That's next on 101 ESPN. Fastline on 101 ESPN. So over the weekend, the San Francisco Giants reached an agreement with Luis Arraez, signing him to a one-year deal, according to ESPN's Jorge Castillo. It's worth $12 million, according to our very own Katie Wu, or I guess
She's
very own.
Still ours.
Either way, Arraez wanted to play second base. Giants decided to give it a try, though they would still have room at first base or DH if they needed to send down one of their top prospects who got a cup of coffee last year, Bryce Eldridge. Initially, though, it'll probably be Casey Schmidt that is being displaced in that lineup. But the big takeaway for us is that Luis Arraez, at least for now, will be the Giants' second baseman. The Giants, of course, have been one of those teams, along with the Mariners, who have been linked most to Brendan Donovan. Not saying the Giants still can't make a move. Again, they've got some moving pieces here where they can slide Arraez to first base or DH if need be. But it does look like for now that one of the Cardinals' buyers for Brendan Donovan is now off the market.
It's unfortunate. I mean, the numbers are kind of dwindling in terms of dancing partners. So if you are eager to make that decision or make that trade, you're probably, and maybe you got to come down on the asking price depending on how important it is for you to move on from Brendan Donovan. And I think that should be a high priority. You've done a really good job so far this offseason of moving on from players that you either didn't want to pay or didn't see a fit for the future on this roster. And it allows you to put players in those positions that you need to be able to evaluate every single day. So I guess the question comes down for if you're unable to trade Brendan Donovan, okay, what does that mean in terms of where he's playing every day? He's your second baseman? Okay, cool. Where is J.J. Weatherholt going to play? Okay, cool. Where is Nolan Gorman going to play? Like, it's a domino effect of, limiting, and we've gone through this process for the last couple of years when you had Nolan Arenado on the roster and you were unable to get everyday reps for Nolan Gorman. Mm-hmm. Good, bad, or indifferent, whatever he is or whatever he's going to be, you have to know that with certainty, and by knowing that means this guy's playing every single day.
Sure.
And you kind of went through that with Nolan Arenado being on the roster, and it prevented you from seeing a player like Nolan Gorman every day. So I think that if you're unable to trade Brendan Donovan, cool. It keeps your roster, keeps your best player on the roster, and it keeps you somewhat, in a position to have some success from that standpoint. But it also limits you in now you're unable to see one of the people you need to see every single day. And that's just, you say you're going to put him in left field. Okay, well, then where's Lars Nootbaar going to play?
Right.
Like it's a domino effect of keeping Brendan Donovan on this roster, similar to what you had with Nolan Arenado.
So, we've talked about the idea if the Cardinals end up keeping Brendan Donovan heading into the season, maybe there's an idea or an opportunity to trade him at the trade deadline.
Yep.
I believe that Brendan Donovan would make this team better, right? So let's say that the Cardinals are actually playing better than what we expect them to play in the first half of the season. And let's say that they're striking distance away from like a wild card or something like that. Are you still dangling Brendan Donovan out there?
This is why it is very important to know what you want in return. Mm-hmm. That question that you just posed becomes a lot easier if you know this is our return for Brendan Donovan. If he struggles, maybe we have to reevaluate. Mm-hmm. If he gets another injury, which he has, there's been some injuries that have popped up with Brendan Donovan over the last couple of years. But if we know what the return is going to be, that question becomes a lot easier. Because if you're a couple of games out of the wild card, but teams come a-calling and they offer you a return that's either meeting your asking price or obviously beyond it, if some team's willing to lose the trade, so to speak, you make the deal. Mm-hmm. This is how I feel like Mo has operated at times. If you're not really sure what the return is, you're not super confident what you want in return, you get into the deadline or you get near the deadline, and where you're at on the standings makes a decision for you, and I don't think that's the right way to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I also wonder if there's other players that are playing good baseball that make themselves tradable assets as well, and maybe you go in a different direction. I don't know, but I still believe that he'll be traded before the season starts.
I would have to think. I would think so too. I think there's still too many suitors. I mean, the Mariners. What have the Mariners done that have fulfilled their need to add Brendan Donovan? You know, I don't know if it's smart to keep going back to the Red Sox. Well, because at some point that farm set. What are you going to do? Is if you're going to just get Boston's complete farm system? You've already made a couple of deals. I know you're not necessarily, acquiring the upper echelon of that farm system. But the Mariners have had a knack for developing good young pitching. Mm-hmm. I would be interested in that deal if one comes about. The only problem is the longer you wait, one of two things is going to happen. Either the Mariners are the only dance partner and they know it, or they get real desperate and they're like, hey, we're getting close to the deadline. Any sort of plan B, plan C are off the market now, and we want this player, and we know we're one win away from going to the World Series last year. Or maybe it was 2. I can't remember.
No, it was Game 7.
Game 7. So there you go. One win away.
They're a couple innings away.
Yeah. So one of two things are going to happen. I keep saying that, though, with the Cardinals. They don't have to deal them.
Mm-hmm. You don't
have to deal them.
You don't.
If you're not hearing your asking price, he still has a year of arbitration left after this year.
So then the next question is he your third baseman or is he your second baseman? And who's the other? If he's at one, who's at the other? Because I think he's naturally better at second base. I like him better at second base. But as far as I know, and I know they got him some opportunities to play third base, J.J. Weatherholt, but he's naturally a second baseman as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So now you're moving again. It puts you in a similar position of, all right, well, we're going to move you to a different position, and it's not. To me, it's not like going from right guard to left guard, which is different. Yeah. From right tackle to left tackle, you're facing different players. Things change, and sometimes it's not as simple as just moving a guy to a different position, even if you've had reps at it. But if you've had more reps at a singular position, I think your comfort level is higher than it is for a different position.
Oh, I agree.
So, what happens next? Like, this happens, okay, he's here. Now what? Who's where and who's out?
This is crazy.
This is crazy, man.
Wow. On ESPN.
No way.
News alert.
You're kidding me.
Talking baseball. Brendan Donovan is headed to the Seattle Mariners in a 3-team deal, including the Rays. This is literally 13 seconds ago.
How about that timing?
This is per Katie Wu.
Holy
Look at us,
smokes.
huh?
Boy, I'm glad I'm glad, Marsh, that you just said. Well, I still think he's going to get traded. And we were all like, yeah. I even added, I think the Mariners.
No, we credit the text line. The text line, obviously we're in the middle of a conversation.
Yeah.
The text line's, Brendan Donovan just got traded to Seattle. I thought it was kind of a joke, just because we were talking about it. No, I just went on the old X, and
he's trade news.
That is I think that's the first time we've ever been talking about something that wound up breaking. Okay, well, here's the deal. Rundown thrown out. We do have Jeremy Rutherford coming up, so we got some Blues to discuss. Yeah. Hey, leave us your mic drops. What do you think? We'll get all the details, or as much details as we can. But leave us a Scott Lee Heating Company mic drop via the Dobbs Siren Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Let us know what you think on the deal. So the Mariners are close to acquiring Brendan Donovan from the Cardinals, according to Katie Wu. Rays are also a part of the 3-team deal. We don't know what the complete makeup looks like of the trade. So what are you hoping for? Do you think this is a smart move? If you're looking at everything as a whole, Jamie. What do you think of the offseason thus far? So we'll talk to Jeremy Rutherford, and then we'll immediately dive back in to the breaking news of the day. Brendan Donovan traded to the Mariners. So JR next. Following that, we'll talk about the trade on 101 ESPN. I could still remember Wes Washpun draining a buzzer beater to help Northern Iowa beat Evansville in the 2016 Arch Madness Championship Final. I was there in person. We were broadcasting throughout the tournament. Arch Madness is so much fun. It comes to St. Louis every single year. It's the State Farm MVC Men's Basketball Championship, Arch Madness. It's a St. Louis tradition. This year, March 5th through the 8th at the Enterprise Center. It's celebrating the 50th year of heart racing excitement. The last 36 years right here in St. Louis. 5 decades showcasing buzzer beaters like Wes Washpun. Madness, Championship Glory, Family Fun Pack, presented by us, 101 ESPN. This is what you get. 4 tickets, 4 sodas, 4 popcorns for $105. Coupons available at archmadness.com. So get your tickets now. Again, archmadness.com. Check out that Family Fun Pack presented by 101 ESPN and enjoy one of the best yearly traditions in St. Louis. It's Arch Madness.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. We were just talking about Brendan Donovan in our last segment, and as we were talking, Jeff Passan put out on X, the Seattle Mariners are nearing a deal to acquire Brendan Donovan from our St. Louis Cardinals as part of a three-way trade that also includes Tampa Bay. Sources are telling ESPN a deal that had been considered for weeks would finally land Seattle a versatile impact bat. So we're going to talk more about Brendan Donovan throughout the show. If you have any thoughts on what just transpired, send us a mic drop. Text us to the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. We're going to talk with Blues insider Jeremy Rutherford coming up next. Maybe we'll talk some trade ideas with our St. Louis Blues. JR next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center Update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
For the Rutherford Report with our Blues insider, Jeremy Rutherford, on 101 ESPN.
JR is brought to you by Evergreen Wealth Strategies, helping everyday people every day. Visit evergreen-ws.com.
All right, we will be talking about the Brendan Donovan trade. The details are still rolling in on that one, but preliminary news is that the Cardinals sent Brendan Donovan to the Mariners in exchange. We don't know what in exchange for yet, but the three-team deal involving the Rays as well. So after we chat with our guy, Jeremy Rutherford, we'll talk about the Brendan Donovan deal. But let's head to the Calgary and Thompson phone line where our guy, Jeremy Rutherford of the Athletic, joins us right now. What's up, JR?
We got to talk fast so you guys can get back to this. You want to do the Micro Machine guy from the years back?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's a couple of blasts from our past when it comes to talking about things from our childhood. But, JR, since I guess we're talking trades, what's the latest? I know we talked to you last week about this, and it's just going to be, unfortunately, a theme with the Blues not playing well. But what are the latest thoughts here as we get closer to the Olympics and then, of course, the deadline?
Yeah, first of all, I want to say that this season is about Justin Falk's revival, not Jimmy Snuggerud's arrival.
Yeah. Well done.
Who got it?
Nice job, man.
Hey, don't clip that soundbite and play that one because people will think I'm being serious. That goes back to last segment, right? Mm-hmm. But no, it does involve Justin Falk. It does. If he's one of the Blues that winds up being traded, which we think he will be, before the deadline, his awesome offensive season and good season overall will be a big benefit of the Blues when they decide if and when to trade him. But, his name's out there, Braden Shen, Jordan Binnington. I don't think, and I agree with Jamie, I heard him from Nashville, I don't think that we're going to see deals before the Olympic trade freeze kicks in, which is Wednesday. Could be wrong on that, but everything points in the direction of after the Olympics and prior to the trade deadline on March 6th, which there'll still be a couple weeks after the Olympic trade freeze lifts, and you have that deadline for those moves to happen. So we'll see.
JR, when you're looking at this team, the inconsistency has probably been the most consistent thing, I think. Just the fact that they can't find a way to get over the hump. You play really good games, and then you come back and struggle. What do you see from this team night in and night out? It's not a talent issue, and I don't think it's a demeanor issue. It's not a coaching issue. What exactly could you put your finger on and say, okay, this is the one or two things that if they did this better every single night, they'll put themselves in a position to win games?
Well, I'm going to be as honest as I can and try not to repeat anything I've said before when you talk about the Blues consistency. Yes, the talent is there. I'm not going to say this team isn't talented, but I don't know that the talent level is where it needs to be on a consistent basis enough. I think that there are players on this team who aren't willing to do what it takes to be consistent every night. And when I say be consistent every night, I mean as a team, collectively. When you have a mantra from the coach of this is how we need to play, and they don't show up and play that way on a lot of nights, I have no other way of looking at it, deducing anything, than to say they just don't want to play well enough to be consistent enough to be the team that they could be with the talent level that they have. And so to me, it screams there needs to be change to the roster, and I think we're going to see that. I have, tried to step back and not look at the day-to-day and the win-loss, and say, look, there are some parts that are coming together with this organization in terms of the Snuggerud, in terms of the Dvorsky, in terms of the Justin Carbonneau and the way he's producing in junior. But it's going to take time. But if you're trying to have a conversation in the here and now, you can't really talk about that stuff. So to me, I've seen enough. I don't think there is the makeup for this team to be consistent. So I've almost gotten to the point of the conversation where there's no need to talk about how they can be consistent because we're just not going to see it from this current group.
JR, that was going to be my next question. If you're saying that the consistency isn't there, then there has to be changes to the roster. And one of those players who I talked to Jamie about this earlier, he's 2-12. The Blues are when he's been in net since the new year has started. Is Jordan Binnington. Do you see a scenario? I think he has a 14-team no trade clause right now. Do you see a scenario where they actually do move on from one of this franchise's best and most well-known goalies?
Yeah, I do think it's a possibility for sure. He's got term left on the deal, and they've obviously gone in Joel Hofer's direction a lot, as they should have. He's outplayed Jordan Binnington, and Joel Hofer is the future of this team. I'm not saying he's going to be the Blues goalie for the next 6, 7, 8 years, but he's the guy in line to take over, and he's performed well. He's really recovered from a tough stretch of hockey, and so Joel Hofer is going to be the guy. Now, the Blues have held on to Jordan Binnington, I think, for the past couple of years because they believed they were going to be competitive. Now they see that they've taken a step back, and this might take another couple of years, and now Hofer's ready. Do you move on from Jordan Binnington? I think there's a strong possibility. I think primarily because Jordan Binnington probably wants to go somewhere where he believes that he could still have an impact and help a team win. And that team could say, hey, look, he's got the pedigree to be a playoff goalie, and that's what we're looking for. So, could that trade happen before the March 6th trade deadline? Maybe. I don't really believe so, but it could. I think that would maybe be an off-season deal. But, goalies don't move a lot. There's not a great return for goalies. So if the Blues move him, I think it would be more about both sides coming together and saying, hey, this is the best for this situation than it would be for a Blues return and people saying, oh, look what they got for Binnington. They should have done this a year or two ago.
Jeremy Rutherford from The Athletic joins us right now on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. JR, you don't have to get into specifics, but from what you can gather and what you hear, do you feel as though that the Blues internally know who they want to be a part of this core moving forward and who, if they can move, whether it's the deadline or the offseason, they also have a good idea on that, or are they still just evaluating?
I think they have a pretty good idea. I think Anthony, that it is tough to read, but I think that they feel that Robert Thomas can be part of this moving forward. Like, he's been banged up this year. He's got a ton of talent. We've seen it before. They'd be fine, I think, with hanging on to him, but they're not going to ignore any interest around the league. I firmly believe that there's been conversation about Robert Thomas with the Blues and other teams. I know that the Blues are probably interested in a couple prime prospects. That's, I think, what they were looking for, like one or two really, really good prospects from another team. And if that can't happen, which, I think that those teams that they're talking to about that probably wouldn't make that type of move, then the Blues are fine with keeping them. Meanwhile, you have a couple players, Jordan Kyrou, who could generate some interest, but it's about finding the right deal. Like, it's not that the Blues are dead set on moving Jordan Kyrou at all costs, and then they don't care what they get back. Like, they're not going to make that type of move. He's got 35 goal potential, and he could get back there next year. And if you've moved him and you've got a guy who's 20 goal scorer or a third pair D, what sense did that make? So right. I think that's the situation. And then with Pavel Buchnevich, I think that it's just too hard to move that contract with his production. So I think that's where that trio stands in my mind.
That makes sense. All right, Jared, we'll let you go. We appreciate the visit, man, and we know it's never fun to cover a team that is not playing well, and you got to have conversations like the one we just did about trades, but you also get it. You're a veteran.
Yep. Get back to that trade, and we'll talk Blues trades here in a couple weeks.
All right, sounds good, Jared. Thanks, buddy.
All right, see you guys.
That's our guy, Jeremy Rutherford, here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
I caught a cramp.
I was supposed to say, what happened to you?
I saw that, yeah.
Bill reloaded, actually. CD, okay, I'm okay now. But, man, my damn... Ooh.
You were smiling? I figured you were okay, but...
Caught a Charlie was in my
I thought
hamstring.
You were just sad that Brendan Donovan...
I'm very upset. Very, very disheartening.
Well, maybe this will make you a little happier. We have your shot to score a pair of tickets to the Sunset Hills Subaru Blues Alumni Experience at Mardi Gras next Saturday, February 14th in Soulard. The Blues Alumni Experience puts you in a heated tent right on the parade route with premium drinks, great food, live music, and most importantly, meet and greets with St. Louis Blues legends. Contest winners must be 21 and up. Find all the details and a bonus chance to win free passes to the Blues Alumni Experience at 101ESPN.com or on the 101 ESPN mobile app. Here's your trivia question for today. One of us said that Super Bowl is going to be a blowout. Already making that prediction. Who did it? Who done it? If you have the correct answer to who says the Super Bowl is going to be a blowout, send it into the Air Comfort Service text line at 314-399-9646, and you get those Blues passes. All right, we're going to dive right back into it. According to Katie Wu, the Cardinals and Mariners have been linked. Donovan, throughout the offseason, Seattle always seemed like the most logical destination, Katie Wu said, though it wasn't a given that St. Louis would trade Donovan. And after San Francisco signed Luis Arraez, traction between the Cardinals and Mariners picked up. And according to Katie Wu, the Cardinals are close to finalizing a deal that would send Brendan Donovan to the Mariners. We're yet to see what the return would be, but we also, according to Katie Wu, we know that the Rays are involved. So we'll dive into it next on 101 ESPN.
It's the last call for football. FanDuel is giving you a daily profit boost every single day leading up to the big game. Today's 30% profit boost is on passing yards over and under and alternate passing yards. And if you like Drake May, you think that the New England Patriots have a chance against the Seahawks, maybe you want to take him more than 220 yards passing, 220 and a half yards passing. And if you don't think that Sam Darnold, maybe you're like Marshall, you think he's going to have that Sam Darnold type of game, maybe you want to take him under 228 yards passing. Whatever you want to do, you can. All you have to do is opt in each day and place an eligible bet to use that day's profit boost. So whether you're locking in early lines, riding your favorite props, or taking one last swing before the final whistle, FanDuel is giving everyone something extra to cheer for during football's final week. Play your game with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60. 21 plus and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Bonus issues and non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Just touching on the Brendan Donovan trade, I mean, not really surprised. Selling house, it looks like. We continue to do it. All I got to say is get it right, because if not, whoo doggy. That is all. Get it right.
All right, that was Jake reacting to the news that the Mariners are close to acquiring Brendan Donovan from the Cardinals. Katie Wu of The Athletic was the first to report it. The Rays, according to Jeff Passan of ESPN, are also involved. And by the way, Katie Wu will join us at 5:30. What we don't know yet is what the return is.
Yep.
We don't know what the Cardinals are receiving for Brendan Donovan, and we'll certainly monitor the situation. But as of right now, we don't know. We don't know what the Cardinals are getting. We can speculate that the Cardinals are going to get more prospects. This goes in theme with what Chaim Bloom has done throughout the offseason. He is repairing, first and foremost, the farm system. And if you thought before, like, well, he's already done that, this is how much work needed to be done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is how much work needed to be done. This is how much that farm system was lagging. Now, I know when they made they got a great draft last year for Chaim Bloom in his first year, and a lot of national media outlets took notice to that, and they figure, all right, we're going to elevate this Cardinals farm system. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean you stop.
Right.
This is where that sledgehammer comes in. And the sledgehammer has never been a part of this Cardinals front office arsenal until now. It's okay to continue to acquire prospects because some are going to get hurt. Some are not going to be anything.
Not going to pan out.
They're not going to pan out.
Yep.
And you're hoping, like a pack of baseball cards, to get one or two gems.
Jim, tell me or
gems.
Jim.
No, not Jim. Gem.
Gem. Oh,
Gem.
I was thinking like
GEM. Gem.
Okay, I was just wondering. Which Jim you were talking about.
No, I mean Jim Tomei in his prime. That'd be fantastic. No. He's not coming back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think if we've noticed or learned anything from what Chaim Bloom has done thus far, you're probably getting some pitching prospects back in this trade. I think that's almost a no-brainer, unless it's a player that's going to be able to play, right away. But I think that the as you said, rebuilding the farm system, can it be done in 1 year? I don't know, but it damn sure feels like it seems like he's trying.
He's trying to.
Like one season, we can rebuild this thing that has taken a number of years to kind of fall apart. And the mindset or the idea or the hope should be these players are going to be solid contributors for the future.
Yeah.
Does that mean that you're trading away? Like you can't have the notion that you're trading away Wilson Contreras, Sonny Gray, Nolan Arenado, and Brendan Donovan and getting all-star caliber or future Hall of Fame caliber players back. That's not every player. Like those are a handful of players, right? That make it to that level. All-star Hall of Fame. The rest of us, and I include myself, do the grunt work. We do whatever is required to be a starter in the major leagues or a starter in the NFL, and we contribute to help a team win. Mm-hmm. And so whatever that is, whoever those people are, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for people that are going to, you have your everyone has a role and everyone has a spot and things to do on a team. Your superstars, whoever those guys end up being, have to be superstars. And then everyone else fills in appropriately in their spot and they do their job well enough to contribute to the wins.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people on the text line that had a little bit of PTSD when it comes to making a deal with the Tampa Bay Rays.
Oh, it's worked out so many times before. We got that one guy, Stretch Armstrong.
What?
Right?
Nah.
Nope. Okay.
Anthony.
All right.
Come on.
You got Matthew
Liberatore.
You did.
Okay, yeah.
It
got Libby.
It took a couple years, but he's still only 25.
Swinging that thing with his left arm, right?
And last time I checked, Randy Rosarina
ain't
no
doing so
longer
great.
a Ray.
He ain't doing great.
Well, he's not a Ray.
He's still.
Who won that deal now?
I am interested to know like what the Rays have to do with this. Like who is going where?
Well, okay, so let's revisit the last 3-team trade that we know of. sorry to bring up some bad stuff here, but we sent.
Like involving the Cardinals?
Yeah. Okay. So the Cardinals sent Tommy Edman to the Dodgers.
Right. And they got some players back, Anthony.
From the White
Sox.
The White Sox.
Yeah.
Traded the Cardinals, Eric Fetty and Tommy Pham for a month.
It's a hell of a nickname.
Yeah.
By the way.
The Fed Man.
That Pham Slam, unforgettable. I'm just saying.
That was.
Those
that got me
moments,
10 points.
Those moments brought you, it brought you something. So let's not just be dismissive of, Tommy Edman going to the Dodgers and helping them win the World Series, and who came back in that trade. We all have our roles, okay?
Okay.
All right, now let's be serious here for a second.
Yeah, let's go ahead. All right.
And the White Sox got the Dodgers prospects. So the Cardinals didn't have to give up their prospects. They sent Tommy Edman to the Dodgers. Dodgers gave up their prospects and wound up getting Tommy Edman. So what is likely happening here?
So if we're connecting the triangle.
Maybe it's not the Mariners who are giving up their prospects.
To us.
I don't know.
It's the Rays giving us their prospects.
I think that's where the PTSD kicks in.
And the Mariners are sending the Rays
some players?
A big league talent.
That's what you're hoping.
I'm guessing.
Instead of the Rays sending us players and the Mariners sending the Rays prospects.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm pretty sure that's right.
Ipso facto.
Yeah.
Ipso facto.
So you're hoping we get prospects?
I think we're going to get prospects.
Okay. We'll see who they are and what they can do. You know what I mean?
What I'm hoping for is you're getting prospects that are on the cusp of the big leagues.
Yes.
If not, you're continuing to add to the the lower levels of the minor leagues, which is just fine. But at some point, we'd like to turn this thing around. And it would be nice to have some major league ready-ish players. Because there are going to be some spots available.
So Bob Nightingale, this was...
Bobby Boogie.
Bobby Boogie is about 15 minutes ago, talking about the trade, and says the Tampa Bay Rays have a minor role in the three-way trade, of course, and we just talked about that. They're expected to acquire Mariners utility man Ben Williamson. So, there's a name right there that is thrown out by Bob Nightingale.
Who is getting...
Ben Williamson.
The Mariners are getting... the Rays are getting Ben. Which would lead...
Ben Mendelsohn, the actor, is going to...
Oh, man.
No, I'm kidding.
Nice. This is the latest from John Denton. A 3-team deal between the Cardinals, Mariners, and Rays, one that will send all-star outfield infielder Brendan Donovan to Seattle is in the works. Sources tell MLB's Mark Feinsand, Daniel Kramer, and myself. More details to come, so never mind. Darn it,
no
John.
Information.
No.
Nothing. We got to wait.
We'll wait till the end of the show. Probably come out at 6:01 with all the names.
Let's hope not.
No, that would be
terrible.
awful. Come on. We can't take 2 hours.
It'll be all right.
We'll have it.
We'll get it.
So, again, if you're just joining us, we're going to get to the Gauntlet. If you're just joining us, the Mariners are nearing a deal with the Cardinals to acquire Brendan Donovan as part of a 3-way trade with the Rays. We're still waiting to hear what the return is going to be for the Cardinals and why the hell the Rays are involved. We'll get to the Gauntlet next. Maybe we'll have more information coming out. Don't forget, too, we got Katie Wu coming up at 5:30. She was the one that initially broke the deal. So... if you want to play in the Gauntlet, you can. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. So if you want to play, if you haven't played in a while, haven't played before, feel free to text in the word Gauntlet. Just text in, and you'll have an opportunity to face either Marsh, Carey, or me next on 101 ESPN.
warriors. 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the Gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
407, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Andrew Marsh and Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter, and we welcome Bryce into the Gauntlet. What's up, Bryce?
What's going on, fellas?
Not much, man. Appreciate you listening. Thanks for playing today. What do you think of the Donovan trade? I guess we don't know what the return is yet, but initially, what do you think?
I mean, we just got to get something back. I think it's good that we got something for him while he had value, and who knows what would have happened during the season this year if he would have got injured. Something serious could have happened. So they're getting prospects or something for him at this point.
There you go. Agreed. And we'll hopefully know soon what the Cardinals have in return. All right, Bryce, we got some business to take care of first. Would you like to take on Marsh, CD, or me in round 1 of the Gauntlet?
I'm thinking CD today.
Carey Davis.
Good luck, Bryce.
Nothing.
Get out of here.
Nothing.
Bryce is locked in. Mm-hmm. All right, we're sending Carey to the cone of silence. Bryce, go ahead and tell Marsh to spin that wheel.
Spin that wheel.
Right, here we go. What are you hoping for, Bryce?
Probably hockey.
Hockey he wants. Kid wants hockey. What'd he get?
He's getting hockey.
He's getting hockey. Wow, the wheel says, all right. I'll reward you for being definitive. So you're going to get 4 hockey-related questions, Bryce. Each one is worth 2 points, unless you ask for the options. If you ask for the options, those questions become worth 1 point. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Hope you've been paying attention in 2026. Since the new year, who leads the NHL in points? As in, which player leads the NHL in points?
We'll go to Nathan McKinnon, final answer.
All right, question number 2. Since the new year, which team has scored the most goals? This is as of January 29th. So these questions
a couple days ago.
Most goals. I'm going to go with the options.
Options are the Anaheim Ducks, the Buffalo Sabres, or the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah, I'm going to go back on Colorado, final answer.
Okay. Question number 3, Bryce. Since the new year, which team has the best power play percentage as of January 29th?
Options again.
Tampa Bay Lightning, Seattle Kraken, Vegas Golden Knights.
I'll go Tampa Bay Lightning, final answer.
And question number 4. Since the new year, the Vancouver Canucks have only won 1 game. Which team did they beat?
Oh, Lord. I could need the options again.
Options are the Washington Capitals, New Jersey Devils, and I'm just reading what it says, Anthony's San Jose Sharks.
Come on, man.
I mean, I think Anthony's San Jose Sharks is probably a reasonable final answer.
Okay. I don't like how you guys did that, but... All right, let's bring back Carey from the cone of silence. Bryce, how you feeling?
Not great.
Yeah, these were a little tough. We get Carey in here.
I'm doing the Dodger wave when they get a base hit. They do like this wave.
Yeah,
now he sees it. I was waving earlier, but now I was doing the Dodger wave, and that's how he responds.
It's important that these are all of 129. All right, you're confused.
Yeah, I didn't know people dancing.
Well, I was doing the Dodger wave, Carey. You seem to respond to that.
Yeah, you figured you'd like that.
Yeah.
I thought that's what he was doing.
No.
I thought he was singing.
All right, Carey.
Yeah.
Your category today is hockey.
Let's do that hockey.
All right.
Hockey.
Pack a lunch, Carey.
All right, Carey, hope you've been paying attention in 2026. Since the new year, who leads the NHL in points as of January 29th?
Oh, my God. So for the entire season?
No. Just in 2026. So
January
Jan 1 to Jan 29.
Who's leading in points?
Player.
Goodness gracious. Well, Connor McDavid is leading in points total. I do know that. I'm going to hell. Can you go wrong with yeah. You know what? I'm gonna need the options.
Connor McDavid.
Damn it, man.
Nathan McKinnon. Nikita Kucherov.
I just go with my first mind. Connor McDavid. Final answer.
Question number 2. Since the new year, which team has scored the most goals?
Options, please.
Options are the Anaheim Ducks, Buffalo Sabres, or Colorado Avalanche.
I mean, one would assume the Avs, but maybe not. You know what? Let's go with the Ducks. Final answer.
All right. Question number 3, Carey. Since the new year, which team has the best power play percentage?
What the hell?
As of January 29th.
Tell you who has the worst. I'm sorry. Options, please.
Oh, snap.
Options.
Tampa Bay Lightning, Seattle Kraken, Vegas Golden Knights.
You said Tampa Bay Lightning, Vegas, and who else?
Seattle Kraken.
Give me Tampa Bay. Final answer. These are very good guesses.
Question number 4. Since the new year, the Vancouver Canucks have only won one game. Which team did they beat?
I don't know. I'm trying to think that they beat the Blues. Did they beat the Blues? Or did the Blues beat them? If the Blues are there, I'm probably going to take the Blues. You know what? Give me the options, please.
Options are the Washington Capitals, the New Jersey Devils, or Anthony's San Jose Sharks.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't take the Blues. Devils, Sharks, Capitals.
Those are the 3.
Hell, I don't know, man. Not big on watching the Canucks around here. Give me the Capitals, because it just doesn't make sense. I don't know. Final answer.
All right, let's go over these. This one was interesting. All right, we'll write down the list here.
Oh, God.
Hope you've been paying attention in 2026. Since the new year, who leads the NHL in points as of January 29th? Without the options, Bryce said Nathan McKinnon. With the options, CD said Connor McDavid. Correct answer is...
It's Nikita Kucherov.
Of course it is.
Yeah, now Connor McDavid is currently the points leader.
Yes, he has
again,
95 points.
This is as of 129.
That's a trick question.
Yeah, we're very specific about that 129.
It does say since the new year.
Yeah, well, 0-0 nonetheless. Since the new year, which team has scored the most goals as of 129? With the options, Bryce said the Colorado Avalanche. With the options, Carey said the Anaheim Ducks. Correct answer is...
It's the Buffalo Sabres.
The old Buffaloes. Still tied up 0-0. Since the new year, which team has the best power play percentage as of 129? You've also the Tampa Bay Lightning. Correct answer is...
It's the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Both of you needed those options, so we have a 1-1 tie.
And by the way, the Vegas Golden Knights have now taken over as that team,
of course,
for the most goals. So good thing both of you got it wrong. However, Tampa Bay still at the start of the new year up until this point, not 129, but 2-2.
We got it right.
Yeah. You guys got it right.
Nice job. Okay, so
just checking.
Still tied up 1-1.
Yeah, I want my point.
Final question. Since the new year, the Vancouver Canucks have only won one game. They actually have won 2 now. Which team did they beat? Your options were the Capitals, the Devils, and the Sharks. On Thursday, January 29th, they did beat the Anaheim Ducks. Okay, but this was before the 29th, or on the 29th. Ducks weren't an option, so. Bryce said the Sharks. Carey said the Capitals. If it's the Capitals, Carey wins. If it's the Sharks, Bryce wins. If it's the Devils, well, we're going to a walk-off. Bryce.
You have chosen poorly.
You lose. Not today.
The Canucks beat the Sharks 5-2 on January 27th. They lost the Capitals they beat the Capitals 4-3 on January 21st. Carey wins 2-1. Bryce, that was that one was rough, man.
That was awful.
Sorry.
Yeah, woof is exactly right, Carey. Glad to give you a free one there, but wow, those were some tough questions.
They were, yeah. Yeah, sorry. All right, Bryce, better luck next time. Hopefully you have an opportunity to come back.
Yes, sir. We'll see you guys later. Thank you.
Right, take care. Thank you. The big news of the day. If you're just nice job, Carey, by the way. Congrats on the W.
No, it's okay.
Hey, you won.
That's all that matters.
That was a tough one. All right. The big news of the day, if you're just jumping into your car, the Cardinals are sending Brendan Donovan to the Seattle Mariners as part of a 3-team deal that also involves the Tampa Bay Rays. Katie Wu was the first to report it. Jeff Passan was the first to report that the Rays were involved, and we're still waiting, of course, on what the actual return was with the Cardinals. So we don't know what the return is yet, but we'll continue to kind of have the big picture discussion about the Brendan Donovan trade. And don't forget, we've got Katie Wu of The Athletic joining us at 5:30 to tell us what she knows. So we'll continue this conversation about Brendan Donovan. If you got thoughts, you can always leave us a Scott Lee Heating Company mic drop via the Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. You can also reach us on the Air Comfort Service text line at 314-399-9646. But we'll continue to talk about the Brendan Donovan breaking news next on 101 ESPN. Well, you might be wondering whether or not you could do a cash out refinance right now, whether or not it's a good time to do it, or what about a regular refi? Our guy Stewie's on the line right now. Stewie, what's the difference between a cash out refi and a regular refi?
Well, Anthony, this is something important to understand. A cash out refinance, whether you're taking money out to pay out a home equity line of credit, or you're taking money to go ahead and do improvements or pay off debt, that is a higher rate than if you just take an existing mortgage and redo it. Now, people come in to us and say, okay, let's do a cash out refinance. Later on in 6 months, even if the rates don't go down, you're eligible for a lower rate because it no longer becomes a cash out refinance. The problem is, with every other lender, you got to pay tons of closing costs. You pay closing costs when you do the cash out. You pay closing costs when you do the rate and term refinance later on. And that's a lot of money spent. It may not be worth it. With the bagel loan, you do a cash out refinance with no closing costs. You're automatically eligible in 6 months to do a rate and term refinance at a lower rate, even if the rates don't go down, all for free with the bagel loan. Smarter way to go, sets you up for the future. Big bam boom, you got the better payment and it didn't cost you a dime.
There you go. This is why you have to pick up the phone, either call or text Stewie on his personal cell phone number. Same one that I've used, same one that Jamie has used when it came to buying his home. It's 314-324-4440. Again, 314-324-4440. You heard the information he gave out. Maybe you're not interested in a refi, but you're interested in something else. Stewie's got you covered. Buying a home, needing money out, cash out refi, regular refi, our guy Stewie's got you covered. So give him a call. If you missed that number that I just handed out, and you're driving around right now and have a pen and paper, Google the bagel loan. You get his information there as well. Thanks, Stewie. Keep up the great work.
You got it. Have a good day, guys.
NMLS number 226715.
Boys, I'm excited about this trade. I mean, everyone knew it was coming for way longer than the news about the Cardinals getting half the revenue from TV with this now Cardinals.TV/who cares. There's no reason to go to the ballpark to watch a bad team. There's no reason to spend $100 or $20 of $20 a month, $100 for the season to watch a bad team. Oh my gosh, golf courses are going to be so busy and it's going to make me sad. Oh, I'm not excited about this trade anymore.
All right, that was Andrew. Something tells me, guys, who's being sarcastic.
Yeah, a little bit.
About the golf courses?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, not about the bad team part.
I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a good summer for golf.
Usually,
well, not if the courses are going to be packed. Yeah, I mean for the golf courses certainly, Marsh. Yeah. They're in a rebuild. I get it. I understand.
They're in
Andrew.
A build, Anthony. It's called a build.
You can call it whatever you damn will please. I'm going to call it for what it is. They're rebuilding. Or build, I don't care. Whatever you want to call it. They should be. Let's not lose sight of the fact that the Cardinals have been kicking the can down the road for quite a while here. So if you're frustrated, let's kind of isolate why you're frustrated. You're frustrated because you want to see the Cardinals look like they did throughout your childhood or most of your young adulthood, which is that of a true contender. They have not been a true contender for quite a while now. They have merely attempted to be a competitor. Will be competitive. Huge difference between being competitive and a contender.
Yeah.
And they've not contended for quite a while. They have just tried to be competitive, either win their division, which hasn't been challenging up until the last 2 years, or make the wild card. That's it. And they kept CD kicking the can down the road. And what I mean by that is every offseason, limping in and limping out with exactly what they need to patchwork the wall and move forward. Meanwhile, there's dead mice and mold and all kinds of crap behind that wall.
Yeah.
and it needed to come out. Mm-hmm. You needed to clean this thing up.
Yeah.
And that's what Chaim Bloom is attempting to do.
Usually happens when the new owner comes in.
Thank you. And what do we got now?
New general manager.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But new homeowner.
Yes.
But new leadership.
The analogy still works.
Yeah. I agree. I think that, kind of going back to what we've talked about pretty much all off-season, kind of the expectation of who would be traded, how many players would be traded, and what needed to happen for this organization to move in that direction. You needed to rebuild the farm system, which has been happening since Chaim Bloom got here, both via the trade and via the draft.
Yep.
Trades and the draft. And now you're seeing, an opportunity. You're going to see younger players get opportunities, and I'm fine with that. If you're a Cardinal fan, and I joke a lot about I do like the Dodgers. I won't say I'm not joking about that.
No, but I know, that's why we're pissed at you.
I am a lifelong Cardinal fan, and I remember, like, the Cardinals that I'm accustomed to seeing are competitive. They're going to work hard. They're going to show up every single night. They're going to play their butts off, and they're fun to watch. Mm-hmm. And the organization that I've watched over the last year, 2022 was fun.
Yeah.
Right? It was a really good season. It didn't end well. You got to see Albert Pujols in his final year. You got to see an MVP and a third-place finisher in MVP voting. Like, that's the Cardinals, minus the postseason success that I think all Cardinal fans are accustomed to. That following year, I don't know what the hell that was. Mm-hmm. The next year, I couldn't tell you that either. And then 2025, you're like, okay, this is too much of the wrong thing going in the wrong direction. Who is the next superstar? Who is the next player that you expect to be on that wall? Because that's what this is about. Like, that's what the expectation is if you're a lifelong Cardinal fan. Somebody on this team should be the next person on that wall. That should be your aspiration as a Cardinal. You go out there and look at that every single day like, yeah, I'm the next one. I'm going to be the next one up there. And that's what we expect as fans. And then we expect players to show up and show out.
Yep.
And who's going to make the next great player? Who's going to do, like, those are the expectations that we have. And for the last 3 years, that team had not been meeting those expectations. And so now you get a new general manager, president of baseball operations, who comes in and says, yeah, this needs to be fixed. The house analogy. Yeah, that's a leaky, that leaks a little bit. That's going to be some damage later on down. Like, so let's clean this up. Not just replace it. Let's tear it out. Yeah. Let's start over from scratch, and let's do what we need to do to make sure that this doesn't happen anymore. And I think that that's what Chaim Bloom is doing. If you're pissed off because you expect this team to compete for a championship, just be patient. Mm-hmm. And not be patient. Not be patient like you've heard in the past. I'm going to go get
that's fake patience.
That was not good. But this patience is, we got a young core of guys that are going to play every day, that are going to bump their head, that are going to have some bruises, some faults. They're going to make mistakes, but damn it, they're going to learn how to win. And hopefully the goal is that this group can learn together. And by the end of it, you're saying, yeah, that young man will be on that wall out there.
Yeah.
That's what it has to be. And I think that that's the direction that Chaim Bloom wants this to go.
Yeah, and I'm not saying you have to like it, but maybe you'll learn to appreciate just watching the young guys play, and maybe you'll rediscover your love for Cardinals baseball again. I know it sounds weird, but if you have a bunch of young homegrown talent or talent that's being acquired before they make it to the big leagues, I think there's more of an attachment for fans when it is a younger player that comes up through your system. And it doesn't have to be drafted by them. Think of Adam Wainwright. There's a greater appreciation for somebody like Adam Wainwright, who was acquired from Atlanta, grew up in your farm system, made it to the big league level, and you watched him from that curveball to Carlos Beltran to his final start with Yadier Molina, and you have this great appreciation for him. Mm-hmm. Yadi's, of course, another example. Albert, stands alone. You don't always have to be the team that's like, well, you spend and get all this talent in here. Because what are your expectations for that team? You make a whole bunch. The Phillies, you should have high expectations. The Dodgers, your expectations should be to sweep the World Series. Don't go to Game 7. Sweep it. That's the expectations. But when it comes to a younger team, I think there's more of an attachment that comes with the fan base. Well, and also, this is a different approach to what we've seen in the last, 5 years, where that just hasn't worked outside of 2022, and that was a fun season, given Albert doing his thing and Arenado and Goldschmidt
doing well in the MVP race. But outside of that, like, man, these past few years, let's bring back more, old-timey Cardinals to satisfy the fan base.
It kicks off.
That didn't work. Nothing that has been happening has worked. This is sort of the only solution outside of, I guess, paying a ton of players to come here and play. But, I mean, we have to separate what is real and what is something that can only happen on the coast. You know?
Yeah, you're right.
Let's be honest.
That's the reality.
That's the reality of it. This is like the only approach that realistically that this team can do.
Well, that they're willing to do.
That they're willing to do.
Because Kyle Gibson brought up great points before, and I don't want to undercut what you're saying, March. I do think there is a. I think we should say it. Could the DeWitts spend more? 100%. Yes, 100%. Mm-hmm. But there's no sense pissing and moaning about it. And I'm not saying you're doing that.
Right.
There's no sense complaining about it when we know that's not going to be their approach.
And you know what? Maybe they do in a few years. Maybe they do make a big splash when this team is ready, right? That way you're not spending all this money to complete a team made of all these big time players, but maybe you can get a couple of them with guys who are on good contracts that are young, controllable assets that also happen to be good.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm excited to watch what this version of the Cardinals looks like. I know a lot of people aren't, right? And I don't blame them for that. But I'm excited because this is different. It's not the Matt Carpenters of the world. We're not bringing back Lance Lynn. We're not, it's not all these old Cardinals that we're bringing back.
Exactly.
This is something different. It's fresh, it's new, and maybe it works.
And Marsh, just simply trying to make the playoffs as a wild card or to win a previously bad division. That's all they're trying to do. Get in and see what happens. No. Stop. New eyes, new vision, new methods. I appreciate it. I do. I'm not saying it's going to work, but I would rather see this do something different that actually could bring long-term stability again, as opposed to these Band-Aids that we know have a low ceiling.
Oh, we like the high ceilings,
We
Anthony.
want that high vaulted ceilings.
Yeah, those are
we
so
like
nice.
Big Christmas trees that can fit in those high vaulted ceilings.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. We'll continue our conversation.
Marble flooring.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll continue our conversation on Brendan Donovan. In fact, why don't we do the sports six-pack, Marsh?
You ask us a question.
What are you thinking when it comes to the Brendan Donovan? What questions do you still have besides, of course, who the hell the Cardinals are getting? Because we don't know. We're waiting for it. And this is an important distinction. A lot of times we say, hey, we're not breaking any news here. We're a sports entertainment show. We're relying on the people who are boots to the ground. Katie Wu, Derek Gould, Jeff Passan, some of the other national writers, Bobby Boogie. We're waiting for the news to break. So as soon as we have it, we'll certainly throw it out to you. But we still don't know what the full trade is. We're starting to get bits and pieces. Apparently, Tampa Bay might get Ben Williamson from the Mariners, who's a utility guy. So maybe the Rays had to sweeten the deal by throwing the Cardinals a prospect. I don't know. We'll stay on top of it, though. Sports Six-Pack next on 101 ESPN. Anthony Stalter back with my friends, Mosby Building Arts. With the Winter Olympics coming up, a lot of us we do watch parties, and you know how it goes. When it's everyone's, they're all spread out. Somehow they wind up in the same room, though. They'll say they'll spread out, but the couch gets flipped up. People are standing around. Your space suddenly feels way too small. And maybe it's not the Winter Olympics, but the Winter Olympics is something that is near and dear to Mosby Building Arts. They're proud to support the Winter Olympics in the homes where people come together. If your home isn't built for those moments, Mosby can help. And when it comes to their world-class remodeling, everybody is in-house. I love the fact that when they start your project, you're going to get your own team committed to your project. It could be a kitchen, it could be a bath, it could be a family room redesign. And one of their specialties, in my opinion, is how they can maximize the space that you already have. They can give you a fresh update. They can give you some helpful tips or actually do the work to enhance a family room or an office space or maybe a basement or a kitchen. Your home feels remodeled and updated, and you maximize the space that you already have in your home. So give Mosby a call or visit them at callmosby.com today for a free brainstorming session. When it comes to Mosby Building Arts, I love hearing that you heard the spot at 101 ESPN, so make sure you say that. But that phone number, 314-909-1800. 314-909-1800, or visit them at callmosby.com for that inspiration. But upgrade your home in 2026 with Mosby Building Arts.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Big news of the day, Brendan Donovan traded to the Seattle Mariners. We will keep you updated on who is coming back in return. It's a 3-team deal. So the Cardinals, Mariners, and the Tampa Bay Rays also involved with that trade. Katie Woo, she will join us at 5:30, so stay tuned for that. We have our Sports Six-Pack coming up next, so if you have any questions regarding Brendan Donovan or literally anything, make sure you text us at the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. We'll answer those questions next. And, of course, the Blues are in action tonight, taking on the Nashville Predators. We'll have that game for you right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. Six-Pack coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin Heating and Air Conditioning dealer.
I have a question. It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
Refreshed by Urban Chestnut. Urban Chestnut Swickle Light Premium Light Beer. Live your lifestyle, St. Louis.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. Time for the Sports Six-Pack. I imagine we'll get a fair amount of questions when it comes to the Brendan Donovan trade. We know that the Mariners are receiving Brendan Donovan from the Cardinals. There's a 3-team deal involved with the Rays, the third team. Apparently, the Rays will get Ben Williamson from the Mariners. And there's some scuttlebutt from Joel Sherman that the Cardinals, at least one of the players that the Cardinals are receiving, I don't know if it's a package deal or whatever, but one of the players that the Cardinals might be receiving is Urangelo Senja. If you don't know who that is, he is a top 100 prospect. I think he was like 91 on MLB.com's latest rankings. He's the pitcher that can throw both right-handed and left-handed.
Ambidextrous.
Yeah. So, Urangelo Senja could be coming to the Cardinals.
Nice.
That's not official, but Joel Sherman is at least throwing out that name. Marshy, question 1, please.
All right, let's get to it.
Question number 1.
From the 618, who do you think will now be the quote-unquote guy in the locker room? The Cardinals have to now be one of the youngest teams in the league, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's a very good question. It usually sorts itself out, though. Like, it's not always, excuse me, I get choked up thinking about, you know, veteran leadership.
Yeah.
It's not always the veteran or the guy that's been there the longest that is kind of takes the reins. It's, you know, whoever the team leads to, whoever is the one that is, you know, not just saying the words, but actually doing the things that are required every single day to be a really good baseball player. Mm-hmm. And you can have a guy that is a really good baseball player or a really good football player or really whatever, really good at whatever sport they're playing, and that person is not the leader that people will follow.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not always the quarterback that, like, people assume that you go in the locker room. The quarterback's not always. Yeah. Sometimes they look at that guy and tell him, shut the hell up. We're talking here.
Throw the damn ball.
Throw the ball, hand it off, and shut up. Don't turn it over, please and thank you. Have a great day. So it really just depends on, I think that quality, you either have that or you don't. Like when you are a leader of men or a leader of people and where people will listen to you and they will follow you and they will, but you also have to be doing the right things. Like you can have a leader that, you know, is not doing the right things, but that generally doesn't bode well for success of a team. Mm-hmm. So the best leaders are the ones that are showing up every day, doing their job effectively, having success, and younger players or even, you know, veteran players say, hey, we're going to do what such and such says. We're going to follow his lead.
Yeah.
So do we know who it is? No, we don't know.
And to build off of what Carey just said, I mean, somebody step up. If Brendan Donovan being traded, and this is Donovan was clearly a leader within that clubhouse, somebody that was well liked, somebody that did things the right way. You know, the anybody that first came up, he would have the bottle of alcohol and personalized and all that stuff. This is champagne. Yeah. Thank you. Sorry, champagne.
Yeah, I think it was champagne.
This is an opportunity for somebody or somebodies within that Cardinals organization to take the reins. If Brendan Donovan walking out that door because he was traded suddenly fractures your leadership, you have much bigger problems than what we discuss on a daily basis with the Cardinals. You have an opportunity.
Yeah.
Whether you're somebody like Mason Wynn or Alec Burleson or whoever, to take on the opportunity of being a leader. And like Carey said, sometimes it's not the superstar. Sometimes it's not the best player.
Yeah.
It's somebody that clearly galvanizes the group and that people want to follow. That's not always your best player. But Brendan Donovan, huge loss from a leadership standpoint. But it doesn't mean that everybody just kicks up your feet now. Like, okay, we got no leadership. We're a captain without a ship. Or wait, we're a ship without a captain.
I'm the captain now.
I'm the captain now. Look at me.
Jack Sparrow was a good captain.
Yeah, he certainly was. Ish. A good captain, yeah. Also somebody that kind of looked out for himself a lot.
Pretty selfish?
At times. Like in 6 movies.
Oh, come on.
Yeah,
you kidding me? He
I
stayed
agree.
behind and took down that Kraken by himself.
Spoiler alert, jeez.
Now, was he chained to the pole?
Yeah, he couldn't go anywhere.
You have a choice?
Yeah. Was it Keira Knightley that did that?
She did, yeah. She felt bad about it, though.
Yeah.
She felt bad.
She duped him. All right, do you want to carry this over?
Yeah, why don't we do that?
Okay. More Sports Six Pack next on 101 ESPN. Oh, it's the big week. Big game on Sunday. Patriots, Seahawks. I'm looking forward to playing on Underdog. If you haven't tried out Underdog yet, now is the perfect time. I'll get to what it takes to play on Underdog, which, by the way, is super easy. I'll get to that in a second. But now is the best time to sign up at Underdog because you're in luck. New customers score $75 in fantasy bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. And playing on Underdog, like I said, it's a snap. Just go to the website or download the app and choose whether or not players this weekend between the Patriots and Seahawks will go higher or lower on their stats. It's that easy. And since it's this week, I kind of alluded to some of the picks that I liked last week, but let's hand out some potential winners. I'm going to go lower than 225.5 passing yards for Drake May. Lower than 225 passing yards for Drake May. He's facing a Seattle defense that limits the big play potential, unless it's the Rams, of course, but limits the big play. I don't think that Drake May is going to throw it all over the field. I think Mike Vrabel is going to have another conservative game plan, try to stay balanced, even though the Patriots were pass happy at times this year. I don't think that's going to be the case for Sunday. It's one pick. I'll hand out some other picks throughout the course of the week. But new promos are dropping daily in the Underdog app. So if you like making entries and winning money, then Underdog is the place for the big game. In fact, you can win up to 5,000 times your cash just for playing at Underdog. So what are you waiting for? Download the app today. Use my promo code Anthony at sign up. Just type in my first name. That's it. And you're going to score $75 in fantasy bonus entries when you play your first $5 on fantasy. So again, remember that promo code Anthony at Underdog. Make plays, win money. Must be 18 or older and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets to underdogfantasy.com/web/play. You get terms _DFS_.html for details. Details concerning through play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. And I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
Refreshed by Urban Chestnut. Urban Chestnut Swickle Light Premium Light Beer. Live your lifestyle, St. Louis.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We're going to continue our sports six-pack. By the way, we're seeing more and more that the return, and I don't know if there's anything else to it, but the return for Brendan Donovan is going to be Angelo Sania, the prospect who was 91st on the top 100 list. Right-handed pitcher, but can also throw lefty. Now, his metrics are better right-handed. So if he's purely a right-hander, then the Cardinals are receiving at least one of the top 100 prospects in all of baseball. But I don't know if it's a package or if it's simply Angelo Sania. That was tripping me. That wasn't tripping me up until just then. I said it too many times.
It happens.
Sania. All right, Marsh, question 2.
Well,
question number 2.
You have a question?
Well,
throw it in there.
Because right now, Ben Williamson is going from Seattle to Tampa.
Yep.
And Seattle is sending Angelo Sania to
so what
us.
are the Rays
giving up?
Yeah, the Rays got to send us something.
What are you doing? I was going to say Baltimore. I don't know how I got to Baltimore. Ravens. It's just in my head. Football's in my head. Ravens.
Baltimore. Got it. Yeah, that's fine.
What are you doing, Tampa?
Yeah.
Tampa Bay?
Get off your dead asses and send us something.
You know what I mean? You didn't even play in Tampa. Well, you did.
They owe us something. Yeah, they do.
St. Pete Stadium was a little bit. But never mind. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Anyways, from 314, I'm excited to see Nolan Gorman take the reins and break out as the star he was supposed to be. Which Cardinal do you believe will have a breakout campaign in 2026?
I have no clue, but I'm excited to see guys play every day, man. You know, it's like sink or swim. Like, bleep or get off the pot. At some point, you have to know what you have, and you don't know what you have if you got guys splitting time. Like, you don't get a real gauge. Like, if the guy can't play, he can't play. If Jordan Walker plays 160 or 150 games, 145 games, and he's batting 182, okay, probably got an answer there. Same thing for Nolan Gorman. But when they're on the carousel, the back and forth shuttle, going back and forth, okay, you're not, and you're splitting time, you're not playing, like, you're not coming to the ballpark every single day knowing what your job is, what your role is, what's expected of you. That is extremely hard.
Yeah.
And I think people get confused because they think athletes are superhuman or they don't have emotions or feelings or thoughts. You're making $8 million a year. You should be at. I'm not a machine. Sorry. The money doesn't, there's nothing that.
Once it hits your bank account,
it gets into your blood.
You need to be a Hall of Famer.
It's not, it doesn't work that way. Like, that's unrealistic. Like, if you go to your job, Anthony, and I've said this, if every day when you pull up to your job, your job is different, or you don't know what job you're going to be doing today, or if you're going to actually be doing. Now, some people are cool with that. Some people are like, oh, cool, I don't got to do nothing today.
We're just trading them to Seattle.
What? No.
Some people are cool with that, but we just traded it to Seattle.
Okay, yeah. But no, if you're doing your job and you want to have a role and you want to have something that you're doing, you want to have consistency.
Yeah.
And so I think that these moves, all of them, all 4 of the trades that have been made this offseason are giving some of these young players an opportunity to now have some consistency, to know what my role is, to know where I fit at in the lineup, to know where I'm batting in the lineup, to know what position I'm playing today and tomorrow and next Wednesday and Thursday. It's no more guessing. So when you take the guessing out, guess what? You take the excuses out.
Yeah.
Now you have no more excuses. Either you can play or you cannot. And let's find out. That's all I want.
By the way, Daniel Kramer, who covers the Mariners for MLB.com, about 10 minutes ago.
He lived next to Jerry Seinfeld.
No, not that Kramer. A different Kramer.
Yeah, Kramer.
He put out on X Source.
That's a different Kramer. A comedian Kramer who's not funny.
Not at all.
Yep. Go ahead.
Daniel Kramer, not the Kramer from Seinfeld, the guy who covers the Mariners for MLB.com, he posted on X, Urangelo, Senya. A fellow named Tay Pete, and then Ben Williamson are the three players that the Mariners are dealing away in the three-team trade to acquire Brendan
Where's Tay
Donovan.
Pete going?
I believe he is going to be heading to our Cardinals. It seems like that's what everybody's kind of saying.
I mean, that would make sense because you guys are right. The Rays have yet to give up anything that we know of. My feel on this is that the Mariners only wanted to give up one key prospect, so they flipped their utility player, Ben Williamson, to Tampa, so that Tampa then kicks in a prospect as well. So you're saying it could be former quarterback Rodney Pete? Is that what you're saying?
His cousin.
His cousin? No, in all seriousness, what's the name?
Tay Pete.
Tay Pete. Okay.
T-A-I Pete. P-E-E-T-E.
All right. Have we gotten that confirmed yet?
Well, he plays for the Mariners, Anthony. So we still don't have anybody. We don't have anything from the
Rays giving us stuff.
Yeah. What are we doing here? Come on, Tay Pete. I don't know anything. We don't know anything, Anthony. The more we think we know, the less we do.
Okay. All right. Fine. We'll continue to monitor it. By the way, Katie Woo in 30 minutes, unless she's still tracking down the Rays side of this deal. But Katie Woo of The Athletic, she'll join us in 30 minutes. She was the first to report this deal, so we'll get more deets from her. But we do have the biggest question of the day next in the Fast Lane.
time for the Fast Lane's biggest question of the day. Presented by Banner Construction, the experts in James Hardy siding.
Basically, all I've got to say is, oh, well.
That's the one and only Janet leaving us a mic drop. Scotty Heating Company mic drop via the Dobbs Stern Order Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. That's in response, I imagine, to the Cardinals dealing Brendan Donovan to the Seattle Mariners as part of a 3-team trade involving the Tampa Bay Rays as well. 5:05, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. We're hearing, nothing's official, we're hearing that Angelo Sena will come to the Cardinals as part of the Brendan Donovan deal. He's a top 100 prospect. He's the young man that throws both left-handed and right-handed, although the metrics is profiles better as a right-handed pitcher. And we're also starting to see some rumblings that Ty Pete, the Mariners' first-round pick from 2023, an outfielder, shortstop / outfielder, will also be coming to the Cardinals as part of the deal, but nothing is official yet. What do we got for the biggest question of the day, Marsh?
Yeah, with all that being said, we've seen a ton of trades this offseason from Chaim Bloom and the Cardinals. Would you consider this offseason, given where the Cardinals are at right now, to be a win for the organization?
It's a win for where they currently are at, yes. I understand that some people might get frustrated because they want to see the Cardinals win right now. But you couldn't keep doing what you were doing. Brendan Donovan needed to be turned into your future. At 29, what is he, 28, 29 years old? His career does not match up with when you're hoping to win. But trading him and developing the pieces that you get in return could lead to long-term stability. So yes, this has been a win for the offseason for the Cardinals. It's a winning offseason thus far in terms of what you need to do to rebuild.
It's mind-blowing. Maybe I'm naive, but it's mind-blowing that people are frustrated with this is the quintessential you'll never make everyone happy. So why try? You were pissed off with Mo with his retreads and bringing in players that you didn't feel like fit the bill. You're not going to spend money, damn it. Well, okay. Well, do you think that the ownership said, you know what? We should go spend $800 million. Right. They didn't. They said, this is what we spend. Fix it and make it better. And Chaim Bloom says, okay, well, you know what? The best lesson is a learned lesson. I can watch what someone else does or what they did and realize, well, that didn't work out well enough. Let me go in a different direction. And I believe that's what Chaim is doing. He's going in a different direction. If you're pissed off that Brendan Donovan is, well, where are we? Brendan Donovan is a great baseball player. He's not going to be the player, in my opinion, that leads you to a World Series championship, him alone. Mm-hmm. So what you had to do was you had to trade Wilson Contreras, you had to trade Brendan Donovan, Sonny Gray, Nolan Arenado, who 90% of you all wanted the hell out of here anyway, so why are you complaining now?
Right.
And you go and get prospects to help build this team up. Now, he could do what Mo has done in the last few years, which resulted in what, Evan? How many playoff appearances?
Oh, let me use my calculator. 0.
Okay, so you can continue that path, right, or you can go in a different path, because the path that is not available to you is more money. It ain't there.
Yeah.
It might be there, but it ain't there for you. So what other path or what other way do you have to go? If you're already not making the playoffs, your best resolution for all of this is to get talent, get depth, get more players, more prospects, more pieces, and hopefully, if you get 20 guys, hopefully 3 of them hit.
Yep.
5 of them hit.
Yep.
Now you're cooking. Now you're really 2 pitchers and three batters.
Yeah, you have to take a shotgun approach to this. I agree.
So you can't have it both ways. You can be pissed off and stay and do what you've been doing, or you can be pissed off as the process is moving in a different direction, which seems to have some light at the end of the tunnel.
This to me is the only way things had an opportunity to really change. This is the only way things were going to actually change. You couldn't keep doing what you were doing. You can't keep running it back. with the same group. We got some really good texts, by the way. Eric said this offseason is a win because they picked a lane, and Bloom has gone all in on that lane. They didn't do the patchwork BS. Shout out to Donnie. Love that guy, but had to be done. That was from Bill Reloaded. And Gator, congrats, Gator, on a huge win yesterday, boy. Florida smacked Bama.
To be a Florida game.
Gator says, Bloom in the slow lane, and we'll be picking up speed one day. Sticky in the Snake Pit says, happy they have embraced a direction the minor league system needed to be updated, and reset sucks, but we'll lean in for a little bit, but now is necessary. Hope we see a good growth in the system.
Well, you know what? Like, if you stock the cupboard, maybe all of these guys, or some of them, you can use to trade for a bigger name.
Totally. We've said that before, Marsh. Absolutely. It's not just about developing these guys. It's having the assets needed to make deals down the road. And CD's right. Bloom comes in, says, "Okay, you're not going to give me an open
blank
checkbook.
check.
You're not going to give me a blank check to get the pieces I want. Okay, that's no problem. You want to save money? I got an idea. You're going to save a lot of money. You're going to save a lot of money this year, maybe next year.
Big money.
Big money.
Big money.
I'm going to get all these players off of your books. I'm going to restock the farm system. You with me so far? Okay, cool. In a couple of years, though, when these prospects start to develop, we're going to get ahead of it like the Braves do. We're going to try to re-sign the guys that are worth it. And then we're going to dip our toes into the free agent pool once this lockout gets past us. We good? I'm going to save you a bunch of money now. But down the road, we're going to open things back up again. And it's going to coincide with the young players developing. That's the vision. I'm on board.
Yeah, you're just not going to make everybody happy.
No.
Like, you just won't. And
you know what? No, I think we should run back Miles Michaelis. I think we should run back with some of these guys.
He's available.
I think we should just do what they've been doing, Anthony, because it's working, right?
I don't know. No, Marsh, it hasn't. That's the thing. Yeah, it has not worked at all. Again, from what we can tell, the return for Brendan Donovan is top 100 prospect. Euangelo Senia, a right-handed pitcher that looks like his ETA might be he's at some point next year. I'm not saying right away, but maybe the second half of next year, as well as Ty Pete.
Is it Tay or Ty?
Ty. I'm saying Ty. Might be Tay.
We'll find out.
TAI. Ty Pete, a high A Mariners prospect. He's only 20 years old, and he was their first round pick in 2023. Outfielder / shortstop. Seems like he's an outfielder, but I like it. We'll see if the Rays ever get off their dead ass and give us something too. Or maybe they're just going to flip a prospect to Seattle. I don't know. Katie Woo's going to join us at the bottom of the hour, 5:30. She was the first to report it. She's gracious enough to give us some time. I'm sure it's been a very busy day for her, but we will check in with her to see what else the Cardinals could be receiving, or if it's just Euangelo Senia and Ty Pete.
It is Ty, by the way. I looked it up.
Ty, okay. Thank you. I would think so.
Yeah.
We'll talk to Katie Woo about that. All right. Keep sending in your mic drops. Keep sending in your comments about Brendan Donovan. We're going to stay here. Might as well continue to talk about the big news of the day. If you're hopping in your car now, Brendan Donovan has been dealt to Seattle for a couple of prospects, and we're taking the pulse from you. And CD, as CD said, if you are like ticked off, if you don't think this is the direction the Cardinals should be going, genuinely curious, what direction do you think they should then? All right, we'll continue to talk about it next on 101 ESPN. CD, we've been talking a lot about the Cardinals and the direction that they're in and having kind of a vision for. Well, what's your vision for 2026? If it's like CD and I, to get into the gym more consistently, be in a great mood, start feeling younger again because we have that vision, then you got to go see our friends at Mentality. Mentality, CD, they make it easy.
Yeah, they do. And if you're tired of, waking up exhausted, tired of the dad bod, tired of feeling down and kind of moody, stop by Mentality. 2 locations, Chesterfield, South County. You can go in there and have a conversation and figure out how you can feel better. They'll do the blood work. They'll see what you're lacking, what you need more of, and they'll get you taken care of. And it's as simple as going in there and stopping out and having a conversation.
Yeah, it might be you might be lacking some other vitamins too. It might not just be low testosterone. If it's something more serious, they can get involved there too. Give you a heads up to get to your doctor. But when it comes to low testosterone, it affects most guys. You get older, you start to drag a little bit, and you say, "Hey, enough of this. I want to fix it." Well, go down to Mentality, like CD saying. You can also schedule your appointment now at lowtusa.com. But right now, all new patient labs will be covered in your treatment plan. So just mention Carey or me or 101 ESPN.
And that's $250 savings right there.
Right out of the gates.
Right there. Right now.
So now's the time to join Mentality. Tell them that CD and Anthony sent you, and they reclaim the old you, the younger you, with Mentality.
Well, welcome to Pittsburgh and Washington, folks.
So that was from Bub. Obviously, he's maybe a little perturbed, or maybe just he wants everybody to understand that you're heading to a depth of hell and purgatory for baseball.
Well,
because
Pittsburgh
the Cardinals
is continuous, so that's not. Well, let's not. But Pittsburgh got some pretty good players right now. They might be trying, in Pittsburgh, in the Pittsburgh Pirates' own way.
Yeah, okay.
There's trying, and then there's Pittsburgh Pirates trying.
Sure.
Like they're still trying.
Yeah,
they ain't gonna
ish. Trying ish, right?
Man, listen, it's you've been watching bad baseball and you've been complaining and you've been wanting something different. And now you're getting something different, and you're still complaining because it's not what you want. Well, what you want is not feasible.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to happen. So at some point, you have to wrap your mind around, it's like getting two bad options. You got to pick the lesser of two evils. And I think this is, in my opinion, it's not really two bad options, but if that's how you want to look at it, that's how you look at it. You can either run it back with what you've been doing or go the route that you're going now. But the route that I think the majority of our listeners want to go is spend more money.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't happening, so quit asking.
Right.
Like, it's simple. And you're not talking, the Cardinals aren't an organization that spends like the Pirates or spends like, some of these Marlins, some of these other organizations that are at the bottom. They're consistently 12 to 15 in the spending range. That's usually good enough to win.
Mm-hmm.
They just haven't been getting the players that are good enough to win thus far.
Yeah.
So I think they're going in a direction that is going to be fun to watch. Is it going to be some losses? Probably, because that's what happens with the young players. You take your lumps and you learn, and by the time you get older, you're like, you know what? You ain't gonna kick my butt again. I know how to respond.
Yeah.
And I think that's what this organization is going to do, and that's the way that they're trending.
Knock on wood.
We got a text from the 417. Very happy the 417 ended up sending the second text message. But the 417 says, it's ridiculous. You don't trade a superstar like Donovan. You build around him. They should have made trades and gotten Scooble, Judge, Big Dumper, Paul Skeens. Do better, Bloom.
Yeah.
And that was the one text that I read, and then the 417 followed up with another one that read, I feel like that's what half of Cardinal fans, the thought that half of Cardinal fans have, trading Donovan is the right call.
Yeah, well done.
If we had a text of the day, you'd get it, buddy.
Yep. We should have a text of the day.
But
or ma'am, I don't know if it's ma'am.
Maybe this is how you ramp up to trade for a big name. I mentioned it last segment. We've talked about it before. This is how you get to that spot. And I know people hate hearing the word patience, but ultimately that's what this is. It stinks. We want to see good Cardinals baseball, but who knows? Maybe they'll surprise us this year.
We got to give them a chance, too. We all wanted Mo done. So let's give Hein Bloom an opportunity. I'll tell you what he's not doing. He's not just sitting there saying, well, we got to see. We got to see how all this plays out, and then I'll act. He is being proactive. You may not love the moves. You may not love that your favorite players are heading out the door, but he's not resting on his laurels. He is being proactive. He is doing something. He is going in a direction. Let's reset things. The Mariners are trading prized pitching prospect Evangelio Sena and minor league outfielder Ty Pete to the Cardinals in the Brendan Donovan trade. Third baseman Ben Williamson will be going to the Rays for a prospect and a Comp B draft pick. So the Rays part of it has nothing to do with the Cardinals. They're sending a prospect and a Comp B draft pick to the Mariners. I don't know why the two deals are. I don't know why it's a 3-team trade then, but
maybe the maybe the Rays are sending something to both teams.
Yeah.
Well, interesting.
It doesn't seem like it, but we use the house analogy a lot, or the house comparison. Let's use a restaurant comparison. We all have favorite restaurants, and you go into the restaurant, and maybe for quite a while, they serve outstanding food. The service is excellent. They keep up with the place. Place has character, good ownership. You love going there. It's a place that you celebrate most of your birthdays or anniversaries. It's a place you haven't been there in a while. You love to go back. That restaurant, over time, starts cutting corners. Maybe the food starts to become more frozen than fresh. Maybe the service isn't that great. It starts to go downhill.
Yeah.
And you can tell. You can feel it. It's heading in the wrong direction. The restaurant is that same restaurant that you fell in love with.
By name.
But they're not keeping up. They haven't updated in a while. The prices go up. The food starts to become lackluster, and the service isn't great. The product isn't what you remember and what you were willing to pay for. That is what the Cardinals became. And now they're not under new ownership, but under new management, and they're going to do things differently. Will it be the same restaurant that you knew way back when? Remains to be seen. But clearly the restaurant that it became was nothing that you wanted to spend your money on. Katie Woo is next. She broke the news that Brendan Donovan is being dealt to the Mariners. Is there any other components that we need to know? We'll check in with Katie Woo of The Athletic next on 101 ESPN. Right now, if you're not a part of Underdog, you haven't signed up yet, now's the best time to join Underdog. Their new customers score $75 in fantasy bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. And with the big game coming up on Sunday, there's new promos dropping daily in the app. So if you like making entries and winning money, Underdog is the best place for the big game. I handed out this pick earlier. By the way, Underdog, super easy to play. Just choose whether or not players are going to go higher or lower on their stats. I like Drake May to go lower than 225.5 passing yards this weekend against Seattle's defense. I also, because I don't think that Ramondre Stevenson's going to have a big game rushing, I think that he goes higher than 24.5 receiving yards. So even though I don't like Drake May to go higher than his passing numbers, I do like Ramondre Stevenson to go higher than his receiving yards because I think they're going to have to throw to him a lot with the big play being eliminated. That's a couple of my picks. I'll continue to hand some throughout the week. What are you waiting for? Download the app today. Use my promo code Anthony to score $75 in fantasy bonus entries when you play your first $5 on fantasy at Underdog. Again, use that promo code Anthony, just my first name, at sign up. Underdog, make plays, win money. Must be 18 or older and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/playing. Get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concern it through play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.ncbgambling.org.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Blues back in action tonight, taking on the Nashville Predators. You can listen to that game right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. But the big news of the day, Brendan Donovan heading to Seattle. We're going to break down the trade with Katie Woo. We'll get all the information from Katie coming up next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
Well, you just heard Andrew Marsh in the Sports Center update. Let's head right to the Collier and Thompson phone line with Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. And the woman that broke the news on Brendan Donovan being traded to the Seattle Mariners is Katie Woo, who joins us again right now via the Collier and Thompson phone line. Katie of The Athletic. Katie, you're out, and we're dragging you back in here. You can't get away from the Cardinals breaking news.
No, it's a toxic breakup with you guys. I've never been good at breakups anyway, so this is pretty on brand.
No, we appreciate you, Katie. We know it's a busy day, so thank you for joining us. Do we officially know what the Cardinals' return is? I know there's over the last half hour or so, there's been some skepticism on what the actual return is. Do we know officially?
I think this trade is about to become official within a matter of minutes, if it's not already. Let me see. I'm still trying to remember the names, guys. I'm doing this on the fly.
That's right. Is it Durangelo Senja and Ty Pete?
So that's it. I'm glad you said the name of the switch pitcher because I'm still working on the pronunciation.
Yeah, no problem.
And it is a three-way trade with the Rays also receiving a Seattle prospect. Again, that trade should be official within a matter of minutes if it's not already. But at long last, Brendan Donovan, kind of what we thought would happen all offseason, and then we thought maybe not, and then maybe not again, officially traded, which marks the end of what has been a very interesting offseason of rebuilding for the Cardinals.
Katie, did this all kind of get fired up because the Giants signed Luis Arraez? Did that kind of kickstart things again?
I think it really kind of upped the ante for St. Louis. We knew the Mariners and the Giants. We've known this since the winter meetings. Were the front runners. Yes, they talked to the Red Sox. The Royals every now and then checked in, but it was mainly in terms of if Donovan was going to be traded. And if that wasn't a big if. It was most likely either going to be to Seattle or San Francisco. Both organizations really wanted him. The Giants, of course, looking for a second baseman. Apparently, what really happened on Saturday was they just got tired of waiting, and they signed Luis Arraez to that 1 year, $12 million deal. And that kind of, I think, put the pressure on the Cardinals and the Mariners. Like, this is their last chance to trade Donovan. They're not going to do it unless they really like what they get as a return. We're seeing the return come in now. It looks pretty good for a rebuilding team. So I think that really kind of put the final push for Seattle and St. Louis. And honestly, guys, this partnership for Donovan made the most sense all along.
Katie, you were here for 5 years, I believe, and so you saw a number of off seasons. This off season has been vastly different from what we've seen in the past. What have you thought about the number of trades that have been made and the prospects that are coming back for the Cardinals?
Oh, yeah. Remember last offseason when they didn't trade anyone or do anything? Yeah, I think what you're seeing is, and it's difficult, right? Let's backtrack a little bit. If you're a Cardinals fan right now and your ownership group and your front office is trading away veterans, shedding salary, picking up money for players to play elsewhere, you're thinking, what the heck is going on? This is the St. Louis Cardinals. We don't do that. We don't pay veterans to leave. We acquire veterans. We trade to make the team better for the current, term, not long term. But as we saw, really dating back to the end of the 2024 season, the Cardinals needed to truly revamp their player development system. And with Heimblum taking over this front office, a more traditional rebuild is taking place. The Cardinals know that if they want to get back to being contenders, and when I say contenders, I don't just mean hoping to sneak into the wild card, but really legitimate competing for division titles, they have to change how they do their player development system. So this is a very different offseason. But if you're a fan looking for the long-term future, it's almost what had to happen. And I think you can make a lot more sense of Sonny Gray, Wilson Contreras, Nolan Arenado being traded. Brendan Donovan is tough because he still has 2 more years of team control. He was an excellent Cardinal. I think he embodied everything about the Cardinals' draft and development system that they get right. But this is what rebuilding teams do when you have a long-term plan and focus. That the front office and that ownership has agreed to do all of this shows that they're fully committed in the long-term outlook of this plan, but that doesn't make this offseason any easier.
The outstanding Katie Wu of The Athletic joins us right now on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Katie first broke the news that the Cardinals were sending Brendan Donovan to the Mariners. We know now that top 100 pitching prospect Urangelo Senia is coming back in return for Donovan, as well as former first-round pick Ty Pete, who is an outfielder, 20-year-old outfielder who's in high A ball for the Mariners. Katie, we're not asking you to break down these prospects, obviously, but from what you can gather, either talking to those in the industry or just from what you know about the players, do you think that this is an appropriate return for Brendan Donovan?
I do think so. And the Cardinals were very specific. They were not going to trade Brendan Donovan unless they were really blown away by the package and really liked what they were getting. And one thing that they were coveting was a top 100 prospect. And with the other trades of the veterans, the return was more about the money, the salary release. Brendan Donovan was the Cardinals' real one chance to bulk up their prospect system. And they get this with guys that they've been targeting since the winter meetings. We had a story out in December with Deontay about who they were looking at, and he was on the top of that list. They really wanted him. He's an exciting pitching prospect, pitches from both sides of the rubber. I don't even know how that's possible. And obviously, it's something to be said to be a top 10 prospect in your system. But systems vary. To be a top 100 prospect in baseball, that's an industry consensus that you have a very high ceiling. And then, of course, with Pete, a first-rounder, that just helps with outfield. And we've seen the Cardinals come up, and they've had to be really creative with their left and right field options. And center field, they have a couple of young guys, Victor Scott II, of course, kind of in the mix. But when you're looking at solidifying your outfield, getting a first-round pick there as well really helps with the overall, again, long-term projection. So with Deontay, who I think is the front runner in this trade, he's the name that the Cardinals have been coveting the most. I think they got what they were looking for. If they weren't, they wouldn't have said yes to this trade. Again, guys, they didn't feel like they had to move Donovan, but it certainly feels like Heimblum got what he was looking for here.
Katie, what does this do for the Mariners and their team? They were a really good team and have been, and now they add Brendan Donovan to their roster. How far does this push them along in potentially making a playoff run and a World Series run?
Yeah, you look at what Seattle did last year. They were one of the most exciting teams in the American League. They won the division, and that's a division against the Astros and the Rangers, who are trying to get better. And, the A's are spending money, but they still have some work to do. It's really anyone's division there, and I think Seattle has its sights set on repeating there. They've been pretty quiet this offseason, brought back Josh Naylor on that extension, but really had their eyes on Brendan Donovan all offseason. So I like this for Seattle. I think Brendan Donovan plays perfectly for what they're looking for. Cardinals fans know who he is. They know who he is as a player. I'm sure, again, it hurts to see him go. But he now has a chance to play for a team that is firmly in the mix to contend this year. And it's always nice when you're a player, no matter where you come up with, to know that you're wanted. And Seattle certainly wanted Donovan, and you can tell just by the guys that they were willing to give up on.
Katie, we know you're probably busy right now, so if you don't mind, just one more question, and it's kind of gut feel at this point. Arenado's gone. Wills Contreras, now Brendan Donovan, Sonny Gray. Do you get a feeling that the Cardinals offseason is done from a trade standpoint, or you think that Bloom has one or two more trades up his sleeve?
I think in terms of trades, they're done. I know there's been some JoJo Romero smoke going around, but I actually feel like if they're going to trade him, that's more of a July trade deadline conversation. I do know the Cardinals would like to add another right-handed bat, preferably in the outfield. They were connected to Austin Hayes, but he signed with the White Sox. Harrison Bader joined the Giants. So the options are dwindling, but in a perfect world, they would add one more free agent. It remains to be seen who is out there. Miguel Andujar, they've had some conversations with and some preliminary interest. But in terms of trading away the long-term talent or the household names, I'd be very surprised if the Cardinals make one more move before pitchers and catchers report next week.
All right, Katie, anything from the Rays, do you know? Because I know this is all coming at warp speed here. Are the Rays sending the Cardinals anything that we know of?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I believe there's a competitive balance pick involved, but I'm don't quote me on this, guys.
No, understood.
I feel like that's coming from Seattle's side. I think the Rays were more involved with another Mariners prospect they were getting.
No problem. Katie, thank you so much. Katie Wu of The Athletic. We miss you already, but obviously you're still connected, so we're dragging you back as much as possible. And by the way, listeners are thanking you for your hard work, and we already miss you.
Miss you guys, too. I'm already looking forward to that May 1st Cardinals-Dodgers games at the stadium next year, or this year, actually. Wow. Can't wait.
Been a busy year for you already. Thanks, Katie.
Thanks, guys.
All right, that's Katie Wu. She broke the news that Brendan Donovan traded to the Seattle Mariners. The only thing that's left up in the air right now, and Katie is dealing in real time. Her phone's probably blowing up as she's on it, so we appreciate her even agreeing to come on. Even if she told us to get bent, we would understand. Right. What a hectic day, but she cut out time to join us. We don't know yet. Joel Sherman's reporting the Rays are trading Colton Ledbetter and a Comp B draft pick as part of the deal, but he doesn't mention who the Rays are trading those players to.
Bob Nightingale has St. Louis receives Urangelo, Ty Pete, Colton Ledbetter, Comp B draft pick.
Okay.
That's what Bobby Boogie is reporting.
All right.
So.
Wow. I'll tell you what, this is one of those deals that seems to be just, the news almost broke before people really had a handle on what the compensation was going to be.
Just knew that Brendan Donovan was going.
I was about to say the same thing.
Nothing else in terms of what was coming back or who was going where.
Yep.
And who are I don't know. Who are the Rays? I guess I don't know.
According to Bob, so let's repeat this. So according to Bob Nightingale of USA Today, the Mariners, Cardinals, Rays three-way trade becomes official. Seattle receives Brendan Donovan. The Cardinals receive pitcher Urangelo Senja, outfielder Ty Pete, outfielder Colton Ledbetter, and a Comp B draft pick. The Rays receive Ben Williamson. So remember we were talking about the Rays sweetening the deal for the Cardinals? That's why they were involved. This makes more sense. Because if not, you wouldn't report it this way. It would just be Ben Williamson to the Rays for the Comp B and the outfield prospect.
Right.
But this makes more sense, ED.
Yep.
Senja, Pete from the Mariners go to the Cardinals. Ledbetter, who's an outfielder and a Comp B draft pick from the Rays, goes to the Cardinals. That makes more sense. So that seems to be the overall package. I wouldn't think it'd just be Senja for Brendan Donovan. It's not. And then, of course, the Rays receive Ben Williamson, who's like a utility infielder.
Yeah, and the Cardinals add another top 100 prospect to
yes, they do.
To the list.
Yep,
look at that, man.
Heim Bloom working overtime here.
Yeah, man, I don't know. Can we just zoom forward to like 2028? Or no?
Nah, you got to go through it, man.
Okay,
you got to go through it.
You don't want to fast forward time.
You got to appreciate.
You don't want to end up like Adam Sandler.
Yeah,
exactly.
that was bad, man.
That was
real
sad.
bad.
That's a sad documentary.
Fast forwarding through life, man. And then it just had the auto fast forward. Like, you skipped this part so many times, we're going to skip it again.
Wow. It's ridiculous. That's rough, man.
Like, no.
All of a sudden you're dead. Just fast forward too much.
Yeah. Next thing you know, you're a Cardinals fan and they're 1 out away from the World Series and
right.
It's like
fast forward
40 years later, you're like, wait a minute, what just happened?
Yeah. You gotta slow down.
And you just completely miss it.
Appreciate it, man.
What was that what was the quote from what's the movie I'm thinking of?
There's a lot
Ferris
of movies.
Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah.
The quote, just got I forgot what it is.
I have no
Seems to be that you're worried about your brother. You should be worried about yourself.
You got to stop or whatever because time will fly by. You might miss
Smell
it.
the flowers.
No, it's
you
not
got to
that
stop time traveling because if you mess,
you got to stop.
If you mess,
take a deep breath
with the past will mess with you.
Yeah, you got to stop and keep going at the same time.
You got to keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on.
Yeah. I think we nailed it, Marsh.
Yeah, that's it. That was it.
Here it is.
That wasn't it?
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah, and it had nothing to do with time traveling.
We were close.
Well,
we were close.
CD, I still think we handed out some pretty good advice.
Clearly.
Waterboy says, don't eat yellow snow. Hand to God, I thought of that first.
Don't eat yellow
You should never do that.
No.
What if it's like
nope.
Lemon lime flavor, lemon flavor?
Probably not.
I doubt it.
Get some shaved
Not
ice.
worth the risk, Marsh. It's not worth the risk. All right. We'll wrap up the show.
Tiger's blood snow.
That's different.
It's a good flavor.
It is, absolutely. Yeah. Is it coconut or something? All
I don't
kinds
know.
of stuff.
I don't know. I just look at the names and I say, I want that one.
Yeah, solid. Yep, absolutely. Got a good deep red color, too. Wrap up the show next on 101 ESPN. missed anything from today's show, including our conversation with Katie Wu of The Athletic, who broke the news that Brendan Donovan was traded to the Mariners today, you can listen to the podcast, which is on 101ESPN.com or via the Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. All the podcasts brought to you by Shaver Door Company. All right, time to find out what everybody learned today. CD, what'd you learn?
I learned that Nikita Kucherov is leading the NHL in points from January 1st through January 29th.
Yeah, it's still
information that I never knew I needed, but clearly I know it now, and so do you. Because who the hell knows that?
You're welcome.
Who the hell knows that?
Somebody?
Everybody?
No.
Nobody?
No.
One person that wrote the question?
Somebody.
After he looked it up?
Somebody. All you need is one. Marsh, what'd you learn?
I learned that even when Jamie does get his bet the board pick in, it doesn't matter. Because we didn't do bet the board today because there are more important things to take care of.
We didn't have time.
Than do bet the board.
It's crazy.
So, yeah, that's unfortunate.
So we either all won or we all lost.
Well,
you know, we all won. We're all winners.
At
We
least
all
today.
got 1 point. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
He'll never know.
That's true. If he wins with this pick tonight, we just say we all won.
Yeah.
He'll never know. Or if he loses, we all lost. Either way, we're going to start. We're going to start even tomorrow.
Yes, we will, Anthony.
Yeah.
Yes, we will.
What I learned is, and this is, you know what I relearned, is that the breaking news shows are the most fun.
Man. In
Outside
the middle
of a
a Brendan Donovan segment, we get the Brendan Donovan news.
Yeah.
Man, I'm saying, that was pretty awesome.
That has never happened before in the history of this show.
Pretty cool, man.
We were talking about Brendan Donovan. We were even saying, yep, we still think he gets traded. We still think he gets traded to the Mariners. Bam.
Yeah, I thought the text line was fast laning with me, Anthony.
They weren't.
When I was reading it, and then had to do a little digging, and what do you know?
They're telling you the truth.
He was traded. We actually planned for that. There's a reason. I put Brendan Donovan, that segment, at 3:15 because I knew.
You knew. Marshy
I
had a
didn't.
vision.
No, I just kidding.
Marshy
had a vision.
Yeah, thankfully you did, because if we did that a little bit later, we would have had the news.
Yeah.
That segment would have got buried.
Man, I can't wait for opening day. Speaking of having some visions, I can't wait for opening day.
It's going to be fun this year, guys.
It'll be interesting. It'll be different.
I don't know if they're going to win, but it'll be interesting.
Well, why would you say that?
I just don't know.
So you think they're going to go 0-162?
No, I said
Impossible.
I don't know.
Impossible.
I don't know if they're going to win.
So you don't think they're going to win any games?
You mother.
How would you? How do you even go 0-162? It's almost
never happened
impossible.
before.
Never happened.
That's why I didn't say it.
That's exactly what you said.
Carey's looking forward to May. One, because it's Jamie's second birthday.
Yeah.
And two,
yeah,
those Dodgers.
Go Dodgers.
Cardinals playing the Dodgers.
Should be good, clean fun, man.
Nah. All right, Marsh. What do you got for 3 stars?
You want those 3 stars, Anthony?
Yes, sir.
It's time for the Fast Lane's 3 stars of the day, presented by Circus Sports. No bet fees ever with the world's largest sports book, now at your fingertips in Illinois and Missouri.
All right, people are going to hate this, but we're going to give the 3rd star of the day to the build. What Chaim Bloom is doing. The build.
It's a rebuild, but
Carey, why?
either way.
You got something in your eye?
Yeah, something in my eye.
crying?
It's a rebuild.
It's called the build.
You can't name it something different.
Well, it is. It's named
It's a
the
retool.
build.
You know,
No.
good teams say we're retooling.
The Cardinals are calling it a build.
Is it a building?
You know, there was a show called Bob the Builder, not Bob the Rebuilder.
It's not called Bob the Build. Is it a builder? Building? What's the build?
That was Belding, and he was the principal.
Man, Mr. Belding was
at Bayside High School.
Bayside.
Yeah. Bayside.
Hi.
Yeah.
The Bayside Bombers.
No.
Oh,
come on, man.
I don't remember.
Bayside Tigers.
I was gonna say Bobcats.
Nope.
Are they the Tigers?
Yeah. Bayside Tigers.
It's kind of weird if they're on the bay. Like, why would they be Tigers? You know, it just doesn't really. Anyways,
go Tigers.
Yeah, go Tigers. 2nd star of the day goes out to those mini helmets.
Yeah.
Choking hazard. Be careful. Not
It's
the
funny.
ones with the
That's
ice
funny.
cream in them.
You bring that up. I mentioned earlier that I like getting those stickers from the machines.
Sure.
One time as a child, Anthony, I choked on one of those stickers.
Choked on a sticker?
Yeah, put it in my mouth and ate it. And choked on it.
Oh, my God.
What were you 8, 9?
No, I wasn't that old.
3 or 4, hopefully.
I was a young lad. Choked on that sticker. It was a Detroit Red Wings sticker.
Of course it was.
I didn't like it, so I
Of course
decided
it
to
was.
eat it. All right, first star of the day, great Cardinal. We wish him nothing but the best in Seattle. Brendan Donovan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brendan Donovan, everybody.
Wish him the best, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, he was. He was a great
Nah, he
Cardinal.
really was. Good player.
100%.
Good dude.
Yep. All right, we've got Blues hockey for you.
yeah,
that's right. The Blues play tonight.
What did you say, Marty?
I said that's right.
You're excited, right?
He said, that's right.
You got to be.
I actually said I forgot.
Either way. I don't blame you. Blues, Predators pregame starting in 5 minutes. You'll hear from Alex Ferrario. We'll have the game for you. Puck drop at 7 o'clock on the Blues Radio Network and 101 ESPN.
By the way, Mike Ryder let me know that BD3, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Really?
I believe so on TMA.
With TMA.
I believe so.
Okay.
That's what Mike Ryder's telling me.
Well, if Mike Ryder's saying it, then
Gotta be true.
You know damn well that it's true. All right, we appreciate you guys being interactive today. Today was a lot of fun. Today's a lot of fun to do sports radio in St. Louis. Not that we love Brendan Donovan being traded or anything like that, but it's newsworthy, and you guys joined us for the ride, so we appreciate it. For Andrew Marsh, for Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter. See ya.